Wait. Oh man. Oh man. It's looking green. With 0 dropped frames. Oh. What?
Specifically, the drive home, whatever kind of personal animosity they
Weep.
have
It worked. It worked. It worked. It worked.
towards
0
a
dropped
content creator
frames.
that they despise. Like they have their own personal agendas, is what I mean. And a lot of people cannot shake themselves out of that stupor, and it frustrates me to no end because it's deeply unserious. And
Okay, cool.
sometimes I
I can
wonder,
game
like,
now.
what will it take if you are like a conscious person and you care about politics and you care about making the world a better place? There's got to be a point where you go, okay, well, these guys are actually not
That
as
is
invested as I
hilarious.
previously thought they were. Because if they were, they would probably shut the fuck up about
So
Hassan
the
or whatever kind of drama that they're
my
trying to
OBS is
create
showing green.
and focus on actual issues that matter.
Whatever. Let me just close this. I don't need that to be open. Get out of here. If it looks good, it looks good. That's all I
It's
care about.
strange. You think their viewers care about politics or making the world a better place, Law? No, but whether you care about politics or not, politics still
Okay.
impacts your
I'm
life,
sick of resolving
right?
problems.
And these guys are basically deluding
I just want to
themselves
fly from one solar system to another.
into they're basically tricking
I'm due.
themselves into thinking that they're actually engaging with politics. But the reality of the matter is they're tricking themselves into engaging with politics by having
Hey,
this unimaginably narrow
Dark
focus,
Senator, you still there?
and it's deeply
Let me know if you're
unproductive.
still in the chat.
It's deeply counterproductive. We have a finite amount of time on God's green earth. So if you invest all of your time into like fucking petty drama that is forced upon you, and you just like eat that slop with regular frequency, like how much
Oh,
will
I
it
need a
take for you
Tylenol.
to turn around and go, okay, enough is enough, man. Please give it up. Please give it up. Why is this your fucking major focus?
Hey, Sophia, where's the Tylenol? Nope.
They're alone in their paranoia. Their parents and younger, older siblings are all being
Where?
impacted by the chaos that's unfolding right now. Exactly. Huh. Like it's weird because it's the same on the political sphere. I would liken this to the Trump mania, to the anti-Trump mania, right? What I mean by this is if you don't have like an actual positive vision in the affirmative for what you want to do for people
Ugh.
and you're simply anti-Trump, like sure, that might actually carve a path for electoral success in the short term, but in the long term that's not going to work. And that's why while Biden won, Kamala Harris lost, right? And it's it's even dumber that there are a lot of people online who have just like completely dropped all notion of sensibility and have seemingly decided that
Oh,
I
wait
am
a
like a
second.
Trump
I've just
style figure
realized.
in their lives. Like an
My wife got me a
I occupy an unimaginable amount of time and space.
little streamer light.
It blows my mind. I mean, you do this, your online haters are becoming more unhinged and
Oop.
irrelevant. Dogtober wasn't the result of a powerful hater base. It was the last desperate strike
Where can I clip
of
this?
one that is dying. Even Reddit normies are burnt out on you and see Trump as a much bigger threat than you. As for the slop tubers, if they stop talking about you, their views collapse. If they keep going, it slowly tapers off. Yeah. Like,
How
I
do I
just
clip
wonder what
this?
it will take for them to just become more serious.
I have no idea where I can clip this.
If you do not have, if you do not have a positive vision for a future, and you are simply issue specific, and that issue is one person that
What
you
if I just put it right
literally
here?
constantly
God.
are
Oh god.
feeding
Ow.
into hate
Ow, that
campaigns
hurts.
on.
Hurts my eyeballs. How do people use those?
It's just, it's unproductive,
Ow.
it's counterproductive, it's dangerous, it's unhealthy. Like, what will it take for you to just be like, all right, you know what? I'm actually done.
Okay,
I'm actually done with this shit. I'm going to move on to bigger and better things. And I truly don't understand how there's always an audience for that sort of thing, it seems, you know? Yeah, my goat, Joyce Carol Oates, supports me. I know. I saw that. That was funny. And she doesn't know who I am at all, but she immediately went in. So they are not angry because a New Yorker who is Muslim was elected mayor, but because right-wing propagandists told them to be angry about it. Angry about transgender persons, Haitians eating cats in Ohio, illegal immigrants, and something about Christmas, right? Because Alex Cole says, it's hilarious watching MAGAs lose their minds over a Muslim mayor like Muslims aren't already our neighbors, teachers, doctors, cops, and firefighters. They're not mad Mamdani's Muslim. They're mad he won without lying or cheating and is not a convicted felon like Trump. And to which someone replied, no, this is why. Zoran and his best friend Hassan Piker, I'm saying it, fucking America deserved 9/11, Hassan Piker.
Oh my god.
To which she replied with, taken out of context, question mark? Probably he said much more. Susan Sontag said essentially the same thing in reference to U.S. foreign policy, bringing devastation and ruin to Vietnam, Cambodia, and the Middle East over the decades, provoking eventual retaliation and revenge. Yeah, Malcolm X chickens coming home to roost moment, right? And that's what I think like a competent, reasonable person looks at this stuff and thinks. Nah, she knows who you are, lol. She's tweeted about you before. No, I know. But only recently did she find out who I was, and she doesn't know my deep background or anything. What do you mean? And someone went, well, that's one perspective. I myself am of the 9/11 was the work of murderous psychopaths against innocent civilians trying to make a living, school of thought. I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree. Oh, sick, man. You're saying 9/11 was bad? Wow, brave take. We all understand that.
How dare you
Why don't you do
attempt
just a
to
little
analyze
research?
the
We can be
reason
excited to
for
learn
something happening?
But how naive to think that out of nowhere a gang of terrorists decided to go to enormous effort to murder innocent civilians trying to make a living, whom they don't know, and not rather that they were following directives from leaders who acting politically, not personally, to punish the U.S. government. The Twin Towers were symbols of U.S. imperialism. That is the sole reason for the attack. But the literal reason that the attack happened was that Bush and cohort ignored repeated warnings about an imminent terrorist attack. If he'd acted, 9/11 would have been thwarted. Really? You didn't know any of this? Oh my God. My queen. Bacon. Cooking. Oh my lordy, what is going on here? And they're still in her replies being like, you're wrong. This guy sucks. Last night, Hassan Piker said, this is the country that defeated the USSR, unfortunately, and claimed now there's an alternative that's about them, that's not about the billionaires and millionaires. Meanwhile, Hassan lives in a $2 million house, and this is the third option. In LA, a $2 million house is a starter home. In fact, there's no such thing as a $2 million house. In fact, is there such a thing as a $2 million house in LA? Whoa. Whoa. My queen. Damn, she's in the...
Who is he talking about?
She's in the mud. Olivia Reingold of the Free Press is glued to Hassan Piker at the Zoran Mamdani victory party, itching to write a hit piece. We all had a crush on Prince Kropotkin. Oh my God. What the hell? She is in the trenches. Youngest Hassan Abihed. Is that thing, as always, where your haters are so insane that it makes people with brains like you automatically? I know, but unfortunately, people with brains is not so common, okay? That is a unfortunate reality here. Are you meeting Xi next week? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani arrives in San Juan, Puerto Rico on his first official trip to participate in the 2025 Somos Conference alongside New York Governor Kathy Hochul and Attorney General Letitia James. Yeah, this is a conference that they do every time there's an election in New York. It's kind of crazy. I guess like the reasoning behind why it's in Puerto Rico is to show love and support for the Latino community in New York and the Puerto Ricans in New York as well. That's like the reason why they choose Puerto Rico to do this in. And it's supposed to be like a retreat, right, for New York politics. He went to Juma. Zohran Mamdani arrives at Centro Islamico del Caribe in San Juan. He's attending Juma prayer and then doing food distribution for the Somos Day of Service. Oh my God, what a goat. Two people that I wanted to actually, what is this? Oh, you got to stop doing this. You have to stop doing this. Don't do this, okay? Take a second off, cool off a little bit. When I show you guys someone who is like pretty goated, okay? You don't have to immediately go to like the most cynical, worst thing that you find about them, okay? I think we got to do away with that mentality. Like, please, you don't have to like try and fucking immediately rush to be like, well, here's a thing that they've said, right? That's a funny take. So all those fuckers would have gone to Puerto Rico first, not to Israel? I mean, Puerto Rico is still part of America. It's kind of crazy. Have you guys not noticed that that's a thing that we do in this community all the time? It feels almost reactionary. I know it's like, it's not, and there's a good reason for why someone might do a thing like that, right? But like, but it is very odd. Like, to the outsiders, we look kind of crazy, you know? Like, to people who are just recently finding out about this community or something, it's not something I participate in general. I don't do this at all. As a matter of fact, I push back on this all the time. But like, to the outsiders, when you see stuff like that, I think people go, ooh, I mean, why would I be on these? Why would I be on this stream? Like, they're gonna find something that I've said or done and get really angry about it and immediately start yelling about that person. Like, I don't want to fucking be in front of the most cynical group of people. Piss Real says ContraPoint ass take. No, this is not a ContraPoint ass take. This is a fundamental aspect of coalition building. Straight up. I feel like you're cynical when it comes to libs doing good things. Wait, what? Are you kidding me? I've been defending Chuck Schumer throughout the shutdown. That is the least. I always show charitability to people until they have like demonstrated that they are not worthy of any sort of charitability whatsoever, because they're operating in bad faith and they have other ambitions. All right, speaking of Chuck Schumer, let's get right into it, baby. Let's do it.
After so many failed votes, it's clear we need to try something different.
Okay, I can't watch.
I feel
this
like
guy.
it's just not hard to have not said anything racist, homophobic, sexist. No, it's not. That's not true.
I can't do the Chuck Schumer thing.
That's literally not true.
Nope. Move on to the next. What's up?
I'm greedy.
Yeah.
I'm pissed. These guys are fucking in charge, and I just want everybody to be like,
Okay.
no, let's get ruthless.
Hmm?
So there's good stuff happening.
Yeah.
10?
I'm hungry. I'm voracious. I want more.
Why wouldn't you?
Hello and welcome to the Bulwark Podcast. I'm your host, Tim Miller. Delighted to welcome today. Am I Tim Miller or am I Jesse Waters? I don't know. We'll see. She's the co-host on The Five on
Candidates,
Fox News. She's the co-host also of Raging Moderates with Scott Galloway. She's the only woman in America who was on stage at the Fox Patriot Awards yesterday. I saw that on my TV. And will be on stage today at Pod Save America's Crooked Con. That's code switching. That's ability.
It's a crossover for the ages.
It's Jessica Tarloff. How you doing?
I'm great. It's so nice to be here and meet you in person.
Welcome to the Bulwark Studios.
It's very cool.
Have we not met in person? Is this it?
This is
our in-person meeting? I feel like we have. Spiritually, we've met.
But yeah, we've known each other a long time if you go that way. But no, first in person. And it's a weird, it's like a strange TV thing that everyone kind of feels like they know each other a bit. Like I was just in the elevator with Ali Vitale from MSNBC, and she's like, "I love your coat," and I'm like, "Are we just girlfriends?" Because like I've been watching you, and you watched me.
And you're tall. You are pretty tall.
So are you. I didn't know what size you were gonna be. I'm nervous about that at CrookedCon because I'm a tall lass, and I feel like everybody is gonna be mini.
Love it as kind of a weenie lad.
Yeah,
a little mini.
But Hassan Piker is huge.
Is he? Okay, we'll see.
He's supposed to be, according to
we're on a panel with Hassan Piker.
I know.
Another person I've never met. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I have tons of thoughts about that.
We'll see how it goes, then we'll share the thoughts with you guys on Monday. Okay, I want to start with the most important news of the day, which is justice has finally been served in America. I'm so happy for the Sandwich Man. I was disappointed I was not able to come here yesterday a little early.
But you wanted to be at the courthouse?
I wanted to be out there with, throwing flowers at him. And I want to just do a little flashback from 2.5 months ago. Your former colleague, Judge Jeanine Pirro.
Get it, girl.
Judge Wine Box Pirro.
U.S. Attorney Box of Wine. Was announcing.
Beat me to it.
Sorry, she was announcing this indictment, and I want to listen to it.
And then he took a Subway sandwich about this big and took it and threw it at the officer. He thought it was funny. Well, he doesn't think it's funny today because we charged him with a felony, assault on a police officer, and we're gonna back the police to the hilt. So there.
Except for the Capitol Police on January 6th.
Else.
Ooh. So cringy.
So there. I think we are laughing. Are you not? Are you laughing? I'm laughing. I speak for myself.
I actually.
She can't laugh.
And she released a statement this morning saying, it didn't go the way that we thought. You shouldn't be able to assault an officer. And obviously, listening to someone argue that he was scared of bodily harm. He's wearing a bulletproof vest.
It was a
guy in a pink shirt
well-seasoned officer.
Though I know there was a lot of mustard, which was a point of contention.
He said there was. That feels like a lie. I feel like that was a lie under oath. So
the mustard part?
I do. I think if there was a crime committed here, it might have been the prosecution's lead witness lying under oath, because he said that he could smell the mustard and onions on himself. But we can see in the video that the sandwich is still wrapped on the ground.
It is a packaged item.
So how did the mustard get through?
Well, I think this is what the jury took into account when they were evaluating this. But, I think that there are a few good things. Well, one, that Sandwich Man walks free and talks about how important jury trials are.
Yes.
And they are oftentimes, cited as the way that you push back against creeping authoritarianism. And I think that is a good lesson for all of us. And you see that with people who have been unfairly prosecuted. Like Comey says, let's go.
Yeah,
right. Like, sit me in front of them. Tish James is like, I'm not afraid of this. John
not
Bolton, maybe a little bit more.
Not ABC and CNN that just pays him $20 million to settle.
I think that airing this
stupid
stuff
lawsuit
out publicly is so important in this moment. There's too much that's going on behind closed doors with this government, and I feel much safer about the fact that we can, see a jury result. You can have people talking about it in front of cameras, and that makes me feel better about all of it. And that he's free to go practice at Cravath or where he's off to.
I'm with you. It's all very positive. I mean, it's
it's
a
funny.
Little bit. It's funny, and it also is a little bit absurd. She in that announcement, Ms. Pirro announced a felony.
It was a misdemeanor.
They didn't get that.
No,
they had to downgrade it to a misdemeanor. They still took it to the jury rather than just like cutting a deal with them. I don't know about you. Were you a troublemaker in high school?
I mean, no.
I was a little bit of troublemaker. So I had a couple of misdemeanor charges against me.
Actually, not from your mom.
No, like really.
Oh,
you know,
I thought you meant like
drinking
did I come
under,
home late?
minor in possession of alcohol.
Okay.
Not showing up to court when I should have showed up for a
Look at
traffic
you.
ticket. Oh yeah, watch out! And I was practically trained to Aragua. None of them went to a jury trial. It felt a little bit, political, a little
Yeah.
onerous to try to take this to a jury trial.
Well, totally, but they had invested also in the El Chapo video
That's
about what had happened.
Oh, I forgot about that
Oh,
video.
it was like an OG special. I feel like for this administration, before we got like Kristi Noem on top of buildings, like in Chicago and
Yeah.
Portland, looking down at the masses
Frickin'
of
theater.
Big Bird and
Yeah.
Pikachu or whatever. They were amped about this, and it feels so long ago. That's the thing; they've totally warped my perception of time. This was 2.5 months ago or whatever, but the beginning of the National Guard going into cities is actually a very seminal moment, and DC being the smartest place to start since Trump is actually
Right.
in charge of it, and Muriel Bowser had a different take than the other blue city mayors about this. But
Craig Buttfeld.
I think it's a good line in the sand
Yeah.
that we have this, and now he can
It
become
does
a
feel like it's
spokesman.
kind of petered out, the Nat Guard troops. Why do you think that is? Like, you just remember the intensity of the feeling around it back then.
Yeah,
And I think maybe part of it is just that it's like there was a lot more bluster than there has been actual action from the National Guard troop side of this. We'll get to the immigration stuff later, which is totally different animal.
yeah.
But like, it's mostly been guys in fatigues doing selfies. Like that's been most of it. There've been a few other things, but like that's been the gist.
In DC or in all the cities that they've fanned out
I mean,
to.
definitely in DC.
Yeah, LA was like that because they
Yeah.
ended up only at the one building.
Yeah,
Right. Which,
Like they were doing perimeter.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to watch. Last time I was in town, I'm away from the child. You know this.
Yeah.
You don't get to see a movie anymore with small children. You only get to see children's movies. So I was away and I had a little free time. I went to see one battle after another.
oh, how
at
did
the
you
theater.
feel?
I loved it. Then I walked out. I went to the one down in Chinatown here in DC. And I walked out, and it's like, there are 4 dudes in fatigue standing outside the metro, getting yelled at by a crazy guy, and like then other people are videoing it, and it didn't.
It doesn't hit the
It
way
doesn't
that
hit.
they expect it to. But
Yeah.
I think that it's all kind of looping back to this idea of things being out in the open.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good for it to be on display this way.
Yeah.
And there's been so much activity on the part of the regular populace in filming things and posting things and commenting on it at a moment where the administration is making you more and more afraid of what's going to happen to you if you do those things.
Yeah.
And, if we had had this conversation last week, I think we would have had a totally different mentality about the trajectory of the country and what's going to happen in the midterms or how people are feeling. But, no King's Day. I'm not trying to get so amped up about it, but, you have 7 million people turning out, and then you see this election where a lot of people turned out and basically said varying degrees of I'm not into what's going on in this country, and that makes you feel, I don't want to say good, I'm not that happy about things,
Yeah.
but we're moving. I feel like we're all speaking a similar language now, and for a long time I did not feel that way.
And they seem weak also. So let's go to
Yes.
the election results. And they do seem weak. I was watching you guys yesterday on the 5, and the right wing kind of processing of this is there's a lot of cope happening. I was listening to them, and there's a lot of feeling of like, well, this was on home turf. Which is true. Like it was in states that Kamala won, that the Democrats rule. You hear that a lot. You hear a lot of kind of like, oh, well, Zoran is going to be a political cudgel for us, and we'll be able to use him.
Some places.
You hear on that on the right. But there wasn't a lot of like, man, we're losing our grip on things of power. I don't know. Do you feel that?
I totally feel that, and I believe I said it before I was drowned out. But I don't think that the argument holds actually that this is blue turf. Because the lesson of the 2024 election was that what was solid blue turf is not so solid. And in Virginia, there's literally a Republican governor.
Yeah. And
It's
New
like-
Jersey was the place, I think, was the state that had the biggest move.
Number 2. I think
Was-
New York was number 1.
Was second,
and then,
shift towards Trump from 2020
Right.
to 24. Yeah.
And the 5 counties that he picked up that a Republican had never won before went back hard towards Mikey Sherrill. And a lot of serious people were saying that Jack Titterley could win this, right? If there was a last-minute push and there was polling that had them within to 5 points, and you don't know who,
Yeah.
if it's a big turnout day, for your side, what could happen there. So I don't want to reduce the impact of it, because also the wins were so big. Like 15 points is the biggest margin in Virginia since JFK.
Right.
Like, that's a big deal. And Mikey Sherrill at 13 points, no one had that. So I'm into it, but, it's boring for, my colleagues certainly, but that's my specialty. I like to bore everyone for 90 seconds at a clip. But Mississippi, Georgia, Ohio, Texas, these aren't blue places.
What was the mood over there? Is there any Schadenfreude? Were people kind of sad on Wednesday?
No, I wasn't.
Was Greg Gutfeld moping? Can you give me something?
No, I can't. I can give you nothing. I mean, you saw what it was, and I think that there is
cope.
a strong.
It's cope. Which is interesting, kind of in a way, in that it didn't feel like they're like, oh, this was a big rebuke and we need to change things.
Right, even though Trump's first comments were that. When he's talking to the press before he had the private meeting with the GOP senators, where he said, when the cameras aren't here, I would like to talk about the shutdown, which I think is really hurting us. And until last night, he thought affordability was something he had to talk about, but now it's no more affordability. So I don't know how that's going to work out for him. But, I'm struck by the difference in response to the 2024 election for people who vote like we do versus people who are supporting Trump, because I think, and granted it was a bigger election, it's a presidency, and, a lot more results from all over the country, but I thought everyone was really introspective and thoughtful about it. I didn't see anyone get on TV and be defiant, like, no, Kamala had it right, Biden had it right. Everyone said this was a debacle. Some people have been taking a longer time.
I did hear some leftists talking about the Zoran victory, like it was the biggest victory in history, and
as
that
a New Yorker, it is killing me.
But it was good. It was a good victory. A lot of votes. I'm not trying to downplay.
A lot of votes in total.
Yeah. A lot of votes.
But
he got a lot of votes. He got the most votes
since
Lindsay, I think. Mayor Lindsay. I think so. So
yeah,
that's good. That's good.
There were a lot of votes on the other side, too.
Yeah.
So, if Sliwa had dropped out and Cuomo had campaigned or been less repulsive, frankly, I don't think it would have gone that way. Or if you had a normie Democrat get in, or a technocrat type like a Jamie Dimon or a Jessica Tisch, I think it would have been different. But I don't want to minimize it, because I think it's exciting to have young people also. So we're about to go do a panel on how to be cool again.
So you wanted? So you wanted? So you wanted?
You're in a panic?
No.
Is that why you're kind of in the lace? The
No,
black lace?
well,
You're
this is
feeling
like part of
this
the.
is cool?
No, I don't know. I'm like a 41-year-old mom.
You're cool.
Yeah, but you're like a dad in your 40s.
I had to go with misdemeanors in high school.
That's true. I had nothing like that.
Live in New Orleans.
But yes, I was nervous about, how, well, you're wearing, they're like in between, but like millennial women only wear like the really tapered jeans, and young people don't like that. So I was like, I can't do that. So I wore like baggier leather pants. Anyway, I'm probably trying too hard.
You can take my fucking skinny jeans
crap,
off
crap,
and
crap.
pry them out of my cold dead legs. Okay, I'm not gonna do the big pants that the kids wear now. I'm not gonna do it.
No, it doesn't have to
I
be
refuse.
big.
Yeah, the boys do. The boys are all wearing
the boys.
huge pants now. Tiny
Like
shirts.
when we were in high school?
Yeah, tiny shirts. Well, no, because in high school we did big shirts, big pants. Now they're wearing tiny shirts, big pants.
No, I had baby tees that I was way too chonky for, and like a seatbelt belt from Urban Outfitters. Everything was very chic.
You were too chonky?
Like
I find
like
that hard to
puberty
imagine.
wise,
Okay.
not like I need to be sent away, where your mom's like talking to you about a bra, but you're like a little bit unsure.
I don't know.
You
anything
are
about
wearing
this, actually.
deodorant.
Yeah, I'll experience all this for the first time in 5 years. I had all brothers, went to an all boys school, so I know nothing about what you're talking about.
It's
It's
gonna
a
be
journey.
rough. Yeah, you text me.
Okay.
But yes, it is a bit. Do you think this is like too dramatic for the morning?
Yeah.
I feel. Thank you. The election results are really good, and they're coping really hard, at least publicly. But I think behind closed doors, that people know what's going on.
If they're ever sad, just like one little sneaky video of them being sad. It's okay. It's fine. They're mean to you, so it's okay to do. Just one, just for fun. They like Schadenfreude. They posted one of their coping things was the White House posted a thing about people crying from last year's election. They posted like random TikTok girls crying. Did you see this?
No.
Yeah, the White House, our government, the federal government's official page, posted like a sizzle reel of 20-year-old woke girls being sad. And so
I
if
just-
they can do that, you can sneak us a little bit of. Anyway, that's
All
just
right,
something.
I'll work on it.
Everybody, I'm in Washington here on Friday for Crooked Con. Shout out to our boys over at Crooked Media. It's chilly. It's really fall. It's not fake fall. It's not fake winter like we have in Louisiana. And so I've been turning to my fall wardrobe for these travel trips, which includes a bunch of stuff from our pals at American Giant, which includes our greatest hoodie ever made. It's made of the highest quality materials that are cut and sewn right here in the USA. What I love about American Giant, the clothes are sturdy. You know, I feel like I'm looking good. It's a nice fit for me. I got this little long sleeve. I'm not that good at colors. What would you call it? I don't know. Like a maroon, maybe? Something in the red palette shirt that matches real nice with a flannel shirt that I put on top of it. Maybe put some necklaces on. Feeling pretty cool. We got those hoodies aforementioned. My husband was an American Giant hoodie stan before they started sponsoring us, so you can know for sure that this is just the real deal, baby. All authentic. We're American Giant fans in this household. American Giant offers a wide range of looks from the greatest hoodie ever made to everyday pieces designed for everyday life. From fleeces to knit, all in seasonal colors for versatile daily wear. Their men's crew neck, I also like. It's made in LA and easy to layer on top of tees or under a heavy coat. Layering is very important, proportionizing. Get 20% off your first order when you use promo code BULWARK at American-Giant.com. That's 20% off when you use code BULWARK at American-Giant.com. The economy. So you kind of said, like, they're not really dialing in on the issues that they have with the economy, I don't think. Like, there's been a little bit of lip service to it. We brought on Catherine Rappel to the Bulwark. She had her first newsletter yesterday.
She's awesome. She used to go on Fox. I used to be on with her.
She's great. So I want to read a little bit from her first newsletter. Layoff announcements have reached recessionary levels. Subprime borrowing is back. Electricity prices are skyrocketing. To the extent we can actually measure anything right now, which is hard because what Trump's doing, we appear to be suffering from the dreaded S word, stagflation. So that's bad. That seems bad. Then the election results seem very bad. And Trump was asked about this yesterday.
We got 30 data centers to suck up all of our
meals are cheaper
energy.
than last year.
Not true.
And then he goes, so I don't want to hear about the affordability. I don't want to hear about the affordability.
Nope.
I don't know if it's really possible for Trump to deal with bad news. Like, they might be in a real pickle here because, like, Trump's
'cause he's a baby.
superpower is being able to, like, talk about, like, the shitty steaks that he sold and, like, the shitty hotels and talk about how they're the finest things
wine.
ever. Yeah, like he's good at that. You gotta hand it to him on that. He's a good salesman. It's like, you think that this steak tastes terrible, but this rock hard steak, but it's actually the greatest, finest steak ever, and I know because I'm Trump, right? And he has been good at that and, like, talking about his last term during the campaign. It was the greatest economy for African Americans. You know, he does that whole shtick.
Lowest unemployment.
Yeah.
Like,
if the economy's actually bad, though, if we actually are in stagflation and people are feeling real pain, like, that shtick doesn't really work, right?
no, what? I think that's what you saw manifested on election night. I mean, you have your normal kind of recouping of the resistance, whatever it's going to look like this time around.
Yeah.
But people showed up and said, we hired you basically for one job, maybe two jobs. So there was an immigration job, and we wanted you to close the border. And you did that. And you did a good job. And I think it's important to, I wish the asylum system was working better, but, like, if you let in, 250,000 people on a monthly basis for 3 years or whatever, then it's got to be closed for a little bit to kind of figure out what's going on. But the main job was to lower the prices of gas, eggs, school supplies, like all the things that we need on a daily housing. And none of that has happened. And I'm always try to, and part of this is a function of working.
Single-handedly made it worse, actually. It's worth mentioning with the tariffs. Right? It's not just that he hasn't made it better. Like,
well, the Supreme
he's
Court
made choices that have made it worse.
May save us, which I haven't uttered in a very long time on the tariff front. But yeah, it's definitely made it worse. And you've seen some Republican senators find their backbone about it. Voting to. Well, they voted to
You're on Fox, so you see it a little bit more than me. But I don't know what.
Well, they voted to scrap the Brazil and the Canadian tariffs.
Yeah.
I don't know how that actually works. The problem is I feel like all this stuff happens in government, but he doesn't care.
Right.
So it just keeps going anyway. So, like, call up Mark Carney and be like, I know that you saw this, but actually it's still on, baby.
Yeah, right.
But I try, and it's connected to working in conservative spaces for sure, but like there are good reasons that people voted for Trump in 2024.
For sure.
And so I want the country to succeed. I want to give the benefit of the doubt where I think that it's warranted, but I cannot get to the silver lining of what's happening now, not only in their communication strategy, but actually on the ground. I'm not an economist, but like, I'm not a dum-dum. Like, I understand how it works. And everything's been going in the opposite direction that they've said that it should. And Scott Galloway, who I do Raging Moderates with, talks about the Magnificent 10. I thought it was the Magnificent 7 originally, but it's 10 now. He says 10. Anyway, I wouldn't fight with Scott about this, but he says like it's propping up the whole market. We have this K-shaped economy, and it's very easy for the administration to just pay attention to the top of the K because they don't really care about the bottom of the K. Bottom of the K votes usually, but I can't see like the trees through the forest with
Well, it's
this.
like, to me, it's like, what's this 12-step program line? Like the first step of solving a problem is admitting you have one, right? And I don't think Trump is ever going to admit that he has a problem.
No.
And they don't seem like they're interested in admitting they have a problem. They being kind of like the broader media ecosystem around Trump, the people around Trump. And so if you can't admit that the economy's going the wrong direction and you don't have any solutions, and the only
Maybe
solution
you're just trying to get really rich while you have power.
Yeah, or fingers crossed, Supreme Court saves us, or like whatever, screw it. I'm not running again. Good luck. I'm, maybe not. Right? I don't know. Like the crypto people are doing great, and the Trump family is doing great.
Because they are
Trump
the crypto
family is
people now.
crushing. Yeah, and they have
so
like
good.
Barron's like a billionaire now, just
Oh,
himself
on his own.
with crypto coin
Oh,
scams.
yeah.
Yeah, so like they're running a massive scam. They're enriching themselves to a degree that never before seen in our government. So they're doing fine, and he's in his little media ecosystem where nobody tells him things are going bad. So why would they try to do anything different? To me, it seems like we're on an inexorable trajectory towards bad stuff, unless he gets bailed out by like whatever, an AI boom or something.
Well, it doesn't look that way. Where
right,
the
some
layoffs are
exogenous
going. Yeah.
right, event.
Yeah, but again, I'm like trying to go for the benefit of the doubt, like not small people, some smart people. I don't know. It's really
smart
hard.
and small
economic.
people like
Yeah,
Dana.
well, like Scott. That's true. She is smart and small. Like Scott Bessent is a smart guy. He did admit in
Is he?
Yeah, like
He was
technically.
pretty bad. He was pretty bad as a hedge fund person.
Really? I mean, he's like made $1 billion and has a Barbie dream house.
He sold the Barbie dream house.
That's so sad. It is very
he did.
cool house.
He did well, but like his fund didn't do particularly well.
When he went out on, Soros has done great, and that's where he was for most of it.
Yeah. Anyway, I
The
don't
Jews
know.
control it all. Anyway, you can't.
Do you?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Okay, we'll get back to that.
I just don't. I don't think it behooves our side to just shit on them all the time and say they're just dumb. They have no idea what they're doing. Like.
But isn't that true?
Sometimes, but
Howard Nutlick has no idea what he's doing.
I'm totally with you on that. Like, I think that he is one of the biggest thorns in their side. Like, on top of the fact that he doesn't do that well on TV, which is
really
all
bad.
that really matters in this. I think Bessent does much better, but he does have moments where it cracks through. And like he admitted, I think he was with Jake Tapper, where he said there are parts of the economy that are in recession.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, you noticed that? That was happening?
He's really condescending. I just don't like his affect. Could just be me. It's hard for me to get through. It's a very condescending affect.
I saw him in person.
Yeah.
I did not realize he was so tall.
Yeah, really tall.
Yeah, like I'm 5'11", and he's probably like 6'5". He's huge. Big guy. That affect all the time.
Really?
Yeah,
Even
it's the vibe. We didn't chat or anything, but when someone's like vibing a certain way. He also, maybe didn't want to hang out with me, which is totally fine.
So things are bad, though. We agree.
Things are
And they don't have
economically
a
bad,
plan.
especially. Well, they have a plan.
What?
Well, there's this plan that Stephen Mirren, who's the economist and like ex-hedge fund guy that's behind all of it, has, and there is a paper that this was based on, right? And the thing about the paper is that it has to go, I think that I'm very happy in my marriage, but I think that there are, multiple happy lives that we can all have, right? Like you could have found somebody else, or the sliding doors of it all.
Not too
I'm
long.
getting to something about.
Or I'm taking this clip and just saying.
No, it's fine. He always says to me, "You never bring me up at the normal times when people are like, 'How's life?' and you're not like, 'I'm so happy. Like I have beautiful daughters and a wonderful husband.'" With this proposal, the tariff plan to fix the economy, it's like 1,000 things have to go perfectly right, and you have to be able to control how every other nation is going to respond to how you're behaving, and like none of those things have gone right. Like I don't know if there's actually a pot of gold with $17 trillion or whatever he says that it is that they've brought in from tariff revenue that they're spending on SNAP benefits, or how they're
Bailing out
saying that they're like
Argentina.
feeding women and children with tariff money that no one knows if it exists. Anyway, they were going with a plan that had to be pinpoint precise, like a sniper rifle from thousands of miles away, and that is just bombing at this particular moment. And I know that you're not supposed to kind of live or die by elections, but they have an election coming up, and this is going to be the number one issue, and Democrats seem to have found a way to stop talking about cultural issues and talk about cost of living issues, which it is a miracle.
I'm Donnie.
And I don't know how they can stand up to that.
Well, that's a shame.
Which I'm not
we'll
mad
see how
at.
it goes. Let's be honest, traditional phone systems weren't built for how businesses work today. When you miss a call, you're not just missing a conversation, you're losing business. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, is the modern alternative designed to help you work smarter, build stronger relationships, and never miss an opportunity. Quo is the #1 business phone system that streamlines customer communications. No more juggling 2 phones or being tied to a landline. Quo works through an app on your phone or your computer so you can run your business from anywhere. Your team can share one number and collaborate on calls and texts like a shared inbox, keeping response times fast and customers happy. Whether you're a solo operator or leading a growing team, Quo keeps you connected and helps you deliver standout customer experience. Get started for free. Plus, get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/thebulwark. That's QUO.com/thebulwark. And if you have existing numbers with another service, Quo will port them over at no extra charge. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. The shutdown, this ties into kind of all this. And I think maybe a contrarian take in the pundit space on this, which is like,
Open it.
maybe it's time to declare a victory. It feels like a win. It feels like the Democrats won the shutdown. Like Trump got blamed. And I was watching you guys all talk about it, and there's like the back and forth on Fox. They're coming up with reasons why the Democrats are losing, and it's like a whole different world over there. It's just like the Schumer shutdown. It's all, and this is part of the reason why I'm kind of like it's crazy. Like the shutdown conversations like literally exist in 2 completely different silos.
100%.
And everybody watching Fox is convinced it's entirely the Democrats' fault. Everyone watching MSNBC is convinced it's entirely the Republicans' fault. There's nobody's broaching any possibility.
CNN doing?
And nobody's debating. I don't watch CNN. I don't know.
Okay.
You tell me.
I don't.
Yeah,
I-
is anybody? I don't know.
Yeah,
Sorry.
some Abby's
Handful of
show.
people.
I feel like some people do.
We love Abby. On the airport. So like nobody's negotiating, and I guess there's some secret Senate negotiations happening, but
Yeah.
nobody feels any pressure to negotiate because in their media circles, everybody's like, you're killing it. I'm like looking at things right now, and it's like, some people are being materially harmed.
Yes.
Not just, myself, because
And myself.
flying is horrible, but that's a first world problem. I get it. There are other people that are being materially harmed that like need their benefits or
Yeah.
need their paycheck that they're not getting or working without a paycheck, various things. And it's like there's not another election for a year, and there doesn't seem to me like Mike Johnson
No.
and is going to bring up a bill to bail out, to extend the Obamacare subsidies. That seems like a 0% chance that that's going to happen.
I don't know what he'll do if Thune gets him in a room and is like, this is what we're doing. Because, at least the reporting that I've seen is that there was a Senate GOP luncheon. They have lunch like every day.
man, I
though.
hope they
live with them. They act
completely
like
defy
it's
him.
such a big deal, and it's like every day there's
just-
a report out. But anyway,
I just want to hear
Um,
him
It's, I don't know,
whine and
those
cry.
luncheons.
not anymore. Now I guess like
Not getting his own
would
way.
be happy.
Yeah, I got lots of grandkids.
Like 1,000. So cute too. That there's an appetite from Republican senators to put up their own Obamacare subsidies bill. And I hope that if that happens, the Democrats are like, sure, I'll sign on to yours. Like, this shouldn't be it has to be my way, but then I don't know what happens in the House.
Yeah. I guess if you're looking at what were the Democrats' goals out of this? It was like, one, to help people whose healthcare premiums are going up. That was like the stated goal, right? Number two was to fight the lawless administration
Right.
and say that they were fighting it. Number three was to gain some political advantage when it was the only opportunity when they had to do so because the Republicans control everything, right? Like those, for just being honest, like those were the three elements.
One thing that we don't discuss that hasn't been dropped from the list of demands is to restore the Medicaid cuts from the Big Beautiful Bill. Like that's how the right gets that number about like 1.5 trillion.
Sure.
So that to me, I understand it as a point of argumentation, but like that is not happening, and I feel like it has a lot more of a feasible chance of getting passed or something getting done if you're just sticking to the Obamacare stuff.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, but do any of them have a feasible chance? I guess I don't know. And it's sort of like, if I'm the Democrats now, I just feel like the political part of this has been achieved. The substantive part has not. It's the Republicans' fault, though, that it hasn't, right? Like, the Democrats have given them plenty of opportunity to say, these are your voters. Most of these people that whose premiums are going up, it's real
We're
people.
trying to help you.
Frankly, just, like, look at the demo. It's, like, a lot of older, white people, like, that are...
In red states.
In red states whose premiums are going up. It's not like... I was watching the CNBC thing, and so I don't mean to minimize. There are a lot of people who the Obamacare premiums going up is really bad for them.
Yeah.
And it's a real thing. It's particularly bad for like early retirees. It's like this donut. It's like CNBC did a thing on like a couple that was like 58 years old living in, they lived in like some red state, like North Dakota. And they're like, we were planning on using our early retirement to vacation, but now we're not going to have any vacation money because we got to spend them on the premiums. And I'm like, okay, well, good luck. Sorry, tough cookies. It's like the Democrats have made their point on this, and John Thune can come to the table. The other side of this coin, though, is
do you think they
like,
should open it up without an Obamacare subsidies bill?
I just think that they should be like,
No.
you can just vote, have a couple of these old fucks vote for cloture and just whatever. Not support it. Like, if you want to open things up
Just
on a party
like
line,
nuke
go
the
for it.
filibuster for spending bills and get on with your day.
Yeah, and I guess there are two arguments for the Democrats now to keep this going. One is maybe they're going to nuke the filibuster, which the Democrats want because they have a lot of a bigger wish list if they ever get back in power. Okay. That's an interesting strategic inside the Beltway reason to keep this going. The other reason to keep this going is Donald Trump's at his lowest approval rating of the second term right now.
Yes.
If you look at the Nate Silver kind of average, he's gone from
The bulletin.
He's gone from -7 to -13 over the last month, basically since October, which is basically the shutdown time. So he's being materially hurt. So those are the arguments for like doing it. It's like, okay, well, we'll just keep waiting until you guys will do the healthcare subsidies. It's hurting you, not us. But on the other hand, I'm just kind of like,
Well, it's hurting people.
It's hurting
which
people,
is
right.
what your job is supposed to be about. Like I
Right.
saw yesterday that Democrats were like, "Oh no, I think we should go a bit longer on this." Like right after Sean Duffy got on TV and was like, "There will be 4% of flights are going to be taken offline, and that's going to be like 10%
Now you
of
go to bed.
flights." And we both had terrible travel to DC last night. Though Amtrak did come through for me.
great.
But having to go from LaGuardia to Moynihan, we do. There were a lot of angry travelers on the train, though. Other libtards like myself. But we had a little family time there, and I feel like trains are super friendly.
They are.
Where you're like,
It's a little more communal than the airplane
totally, but I'm
experience.
still always afraid that my stuff is going to get stolen.
Yeah, the bags.
The bags.
It's not a lot of security there. It does feel like a weakness.
Like I would go,
point.
if I were a thief, I would go on Amtrak, and I would also go outside of all of these play places. Like we park our super fancy strollers on the street in New York City and go in and do like bubble class, and you could just walk by and take a bunch of Uppa babies.
See, this
And
is
they're
why,
worth
this is
a
why
lot.
you got to the cool. Right to the
This is
cool
why I'm wearing
panel.
leather
I was
pants.
crooked,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, because you got a criminal mind.
Hassan
You might not
Piker
act-
is not going to be talking about stealing strollers, or maybe he is.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, where are you on that? What do you think? Ride it out. What are you doing if you're Chuck Schumer today?
I'm still torn about it because the thing that gets me more about than the flights, and it is a big deal, and of course
People
the
have real
airline-
lives. Like we're joking about our stuff. Like
right.
it's like if
you
I
had
had missed
tell,
Crooked
like,
Con,
love
who cares?
it. Sorry, I can't get here
Yeah.
because of our, our government doesn't work.
Yeah, that would've
and
been
it's like,
fine.
you'll find someone
But
else.
other people have
But
real jobs, real lives, real
Listening to
things.
these interviews of people in food pantry lines,
Yeah,
like,
insane.
that's real stuff. And that doesn't mean there shouldn't be a conversation about why 1 in 8 Americans needs to be on SNAP, or if absolutely all of them do. But like, that has to be dealt with, and the courts are saying you need to deal with it. But that, going back to the lawless administration, they don't care about
They don't
court
care.
orders.
Right.
And
Which is why I would never vote. Just to be 100% clear, like, because if any Dems are listening, like, I
if
would
any Dems are listening,
you Dem members, like, I would
Aren't they
never.
all?
Oh, I'm being humble. I wouldn't say vote for the fucking to keep. You can't vote for this
so
government.
tell them to nuke the filibuster.
Yeah, or you could give them cloture and not vote for it. You know what I mean? Like they could,
Oh,
you know what I
just-
mean?
yeah.
You could just vote for cloture. That's happened before, and that's like a dorky thing nobody would understand, and so I don't, you wouldn't get. I don't think you'd suffer any political consequences for that. I'm just saying that would be an option. I would never vote for this budget and this government, obviously, but like. What's the hope? Like the best case scenario feels like at this point that John Thune and Mike Johnson give you a vote on the Obamacare subsidies in a couple
you
of
take
weeks, and you take it, which is I guess a good deal. That's fine. Would it actually pass? I find it hard to believe that it's going to pass this House of Representatives. I find that very hard to believe. We've gained one over the course of this whole fight. We've gained one vote from Republicans, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Our girl.
Like that scores on one person who has come around to the Democratic point of view. So you'd need a couple more in the House, I guess, but that feels unlikely.
I don't know. I think it has to do with Trump. Like, how
Yeah.
much does
He doesn't
Trump signal? I mean,
he
he
seems to care more about
broke
the
in
ballroom.
2018, 2019,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we
Right.
had a 35-day shutdown. We're on day 37 right now. He broke when that happened. He preserved SNAP because you're supposed to when that time happened, but he's that much more evil this time around. But, a couple weeks of people not being paid and starving is really serious stuff. And I feel like the stakes, like, we're in full political jockeying time, and it's uncomfortable to me. And I say this as someone who gleefully says, like, in the latest episode, linked by 12 points. So I'm
And
telling
they
on
are.
myself
They've
a
lost.
bit.
My point is they've lost. Like they've lost. Like
Right,
they've already
and
lost.
And I
It's
do
over.
think that the Democratic base is happy right now
Right.
with the party. They're saying, you are fighting for the right stuff. You're not rolling over. There's no, like, Chuck Schumer telling us we're going to stand up to them, and then he's like, actually, I'm going to give them exactly what they want in 20 minutes.
Right.
So I imagine it comes to
If we were
conclusion,
playing The
like,
Sims, I would be like, keep rolling because they're in pain right now. So there's no. So I understand the perspective, which is like the Republicans are in the barrel.
Yeah.
Like on this, it's just.
the people.
I don't know how much. Yeah, the people are being hurt. I just don't know how much more is politically to be gained. He's
Right.
already down at -13, and there isn't another election until next November. And I think that the next November election certainly will be about healthcare costs, premiums going up, economy. But it's not going to be about like the strategy of how the shutdown came to an end.
No.
It's not going to have any impact on next
Also,
year's
in a lot of cases, even if there was an Obamacare subsidies plan that they could sign or a bill, it wouldn't solve the problem. Like, a lot of these premium increases are baked in at this point. Now that the exchanges are open, it's not, bureaucracy is very slow moving. It's not like something like you like flip the switch and it's like, oh, actually we're going to go back to this level, which, by the way, is a totally unacceptable level. And I wanted to ask you about that because it feels like, we're having this fight about, making sure your premium doesn't go up 114% to 400%, depending on where you are. But like, Obamacare is still too expensive, and there's no reform plan coming. I mean, there's nothing coming from their side at all, which makes us look good. But that's something that's been bothering me. And we have all these elected officials that come on the podcast and they're talking about, like, we need to make sure we save people's health care. And I'm like, it wasn't good to begin with. Like, thank God 20 million plus people have Obamacare. But what are you going to do about the fact that they shouldn't be paying $1,000 a month anyway, let alone $4,000 a month?
Well, here's why they don't want to talk about that, because this is the issue that divides the Democratic Party the most.
Yeah.
And it's like, are we gonna there are things to do, it would probably be cheaper to do Medicare for all than the current system, but there'd be a lot of other negative consequences,
Yeah.
like quality of care, etc. Like there are other more, bringing transparency, like my people, that we would propose,
My
the raging
people.
moderates, like bringing more transparency
Yeah.
to bring costs down. But to me, the point is, if if I was the Democratic politician going on your podcast and you were asking them about that, I also would not answer that question because it doesn't matter. We have no power, and the Republicans have all the power, and they're the ones that claim that they're a populist party now that cares about working people, and they're sticking everybody with the bag right now with tariffs is making their groceries go up. The healthcare premiums are going up. Make them own it. Me and Jon Stewart got into this a little bit a month ago where he was like, we didn't get into it. We just had a disagreement where he was like, don't the Democrats need to put out like a positive vision for how to actually fix this and make it better? And I was like, no. I mean,
it would make me feel better.
Well,
do you feel that
your
way?
feelings aren't really the most important thing right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I hear that a lot in life.
Pain for the administration is the most important thing.
But do you think that you feel that way because you haven't been on our side forever?
Maybe.
Like, that you just have a more, this has to be defeated, like, I feel responsibility to have a better democratic platform. Like, I want to, read. I'm not going to read the whole thing, obviously, but around the DNC, when you get like the platform and you look at it, and you're like, oh, I want to have really good, exciting ideas. Not just I want to get the talking points right, and I want to say, I'm slashing red tape, and I'm going to build houses everywhere. But I also want to see like these are my reforms that I'm proposing in the healthcare space that are going to make sure that you have I think this is like a never Trumper thing.
I don't.
And that's why Jon Stewart feels like we should have good policy
and
too.
This is where I think the Democrats should listen to me more, not you. And you're crushing it. You do a great job poking the bubble of their just really hollow arguments that they make on Fox because the bubble's hollow. Then though there is like a democratic good government impulse which I like and respect and is cute about like we really do need to have a white paper to fix this. I'm kind of like, no, actually, you don't. I mean, probably in retrospect, sure, if we're doing a rehash of the Kamala campaign, could they have done things that were different? You know what I mean? Sure.
She had a talking and a policy problem.
Yeah, sure, right. So you could have done both, right? But now, we are where we are. Like, the people wanted this. Like, the job is to stop it. There's a good day on Tuesday in stopping it. The shutdown has been good. And to me, it's kind of like, okay, maybe like let's take a win.
Yeah.
And I'm not. This is not me being like, oh, Norm's Tim thinks we should start to compromise and stop fighting. It's like, no, this battle is won. One battle after another. Like this battle is won. Next battle is now to make these guys own whatever they decide to do on the healthcare. And make these guys own the fact that people's premiums are going up, make them own the fact that the economy is terrible. And in 2027, a bunch of Democrats can come out and have some great ideas about what to do going forward, and I can critique them and question them and all that. But like that's a problem for.
I think that's fair.
We gotta
Also,
make it
shutdown politics never factors into an election.
right.
Like everyone forgets that it happened.
You're the raging moderate. Well, I want to do some wither moderates here before we get out of here.
Okay.
What's happening with the moderates? What's happening with our people? And Jared Golden. Maine, he's like everything that everybody in the post 2024 election said that Democrats needed. Like
Literally.
he's a working class
Genuine
dude.
article.
Yeah, he's a working class dude. He's got tats. He can go into the manosphere and hang out. He cares about economic issues. He's an economic populist.
Grand planner.
And he's out. He dropped out because some dweeb in Maine is primarying him.
Dumba for something I don't even know who he is.
I don't know anything about him except that he looks and sounds like a dweeb, and he was going after Jared Golden because he bucked the party like 3 times, and it was like nothing. There's no meaningful thing that was going to help people's lives that Jared Golden stood in the way of. It's just some resistance people didn't like the fact that Jared Golden sometimes didn't echo the latest talking point that was on Blue Sky. And it's like, and so he gets bullied out of this race, and he's like, this is not fun, I'm not enjoying it, I want to hang out with my family and fish or whatever he likes to do in his free time, and that sucks.
Yeah.
And it sucks. I had Pat Ryan on over on our YouTube this week, who I love, and he's out there recruiting. I was in his ear. I'm like, we need to go recruit Jared Goldens. Like, there need to be more Jared Goldens. And we had basically 2 Jared Goldens, him and Murray Gluskam-Perez, who's a girl Jared Golden. Yeah. And like one of them's gone now, and it's concerning. Are you concerned?
I'm definitely concerned. I mean, in learning from the lessons of 2024, concerned. Also in the lessons of like actual winning, to be more ruthless about it. Like Jared Golden had the reddest district that a Dem carried.
Yeah.
And, Nancy Pelosi announcing her retirement this week, there was obviously a ton to focus on in terms of her legacy. But my favorite thing, besides for the children, about Nancy Pelosi is that she always told her caucus, I'll do whatever you want. You can call me the devil, or I'll campaign with you. Just win.
Yeah.
We can't do anything unless we're in office. And Jared Golden did the impossible 3 times. And it feels, and this links to the Mamdani race in New York as well, that 3/4 of the party, or our coalition, whatever it is, because I know there are a lot of people who still identify as a conservative that are with us, understand the task, which is run the person that fits the constituency.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what happens. Like,
Right.
if you have a pro-life Democrat who still votes for pro-choice policies, what the fuck do you care? Like, and Ezra Klein did a thing this week about Joe Manchin. We're talking about what the Democratic Party is. And I had been saying that on Fox forever. I said, the guy votes with you 93% of the time. You would have never gotten the Inflation Reduction Act without him anyway. Like, leave him alone. He wins a Trump 42 state, and you think that you're going to ever have a prayer of carrying it. So that was concerning. But I feel like the election results, like, before that, we had that deciding to win memo, right, where they surveyed 500,000 people, which I didn't even think. I work in research. I didn't think that was possible. And then there was the other working class focused one that American Bridge did. And the results from that were all like, you're woke and weak, right? And that we have to change the definition of what it means to be a moderate.
Yeah.
And it can't be a strongly worded letter. Like, you can talk the same as a firebrand. You just back policies that 55% plus of people support. And that seems like such an easy path forward. And Jared Golden was doing that. Pat Ryan does that. Tom Suozzi does that. He wins a district that he has to, say, I'm endorsing Cuomo and I don't support Mamdani. And then he, congratulates him like a normal human being afterwards. And we should all be able to kind of shake hands and pack it up.
No.
I agree, though. He probably should have been from Mamdani. He was the nominee. Suozzi should have, but that's more of a neutral thing. I mean,
to get reelected,
it should be a deal
would
on
you
both
rather
sides.
have him? I mean, that's how they felt about it. I mean, besides the fact that they felt or feel that Mamdani is a threat to Jews in New York City, which a lot of people feel. He only got 30% of the Jewish vote, which is unprecedented in mayoral politics. But he's listening to people at home. Laura Gillen's listening to people at home who are concerned about these things. So I don't think they're doing it just to be mean.
I don't think they're doing it to be mean either. I guess my point is just I think the Suozzi thing probably was not that strategically helpful. I just think that there's if the center, if those of us, the raging moderates, are going to demand that the DSA crowd get on board and not do vote undeclared or whatever, then like sometimes you gotta suck it up and do the other deal, particularly when it's a place like New York. But anyway, I just want to dial on a Maine for 1 second, because it's I think that this is what has me worried. And I think that the Democrats could end up winning in spite of themselves, like they did in 22, because like that's just how politics is. Like if the economy is as bad as like what we are saying, it continues to get worse. Like the next midterm, whoever the Democrats put up in Maine might win that Golden District, and they might win the Senate race, maybe. But like just being strategic about it, I feel like that the Maine Senate primary is right now just like a microcosm of how both factions in the party are fucking up. It's like the Plattner side. He seems like a fine dude. I don't know about the Nazi tattoo or whatever. Whatever. He's like obviously a compelling talker, and people like him. And I don't want to take anybody's excitement away from them. But like, he's running, and again, it might work in Maine because the blue state Kamala won, right? But if the left,
Susan Collins wins every time.
Right, exactly. But the left is like, hey, we need more economic populism. We need more guys who are like working class people, and it's like, okay. But then you also need to offer some cultural concern. Like it feels like the Tim Walz thing over again with Plattner, where it's like, isn't it enough that he can fix the carburetor? And it's like, no, actually, the like people in the district that voted for Trump have different policy issues, substantively different issues, and Plattner is running like basically on AOC's platform, but just in a dude with tattoos body. and okay, like that's fine. If you like that, that's fine. But that is not like going to be. It's not a path to win in red areas. It might win in Maine. It might work in Maine. It's not a path to win in red areas. And then the Democrats, like the desiccated Democratic establishment, is putting up Joe Biden. They're putting up a 77-year-old who has a low approval rating, who's the governor of Maine. It's like, can we not do? Is there not a different option? Like, why are both sides doing the thing that they've failed at? Oh, again.
People have most of the time a financial interest in doing those things. Like, I'm sure you saw the readout from Comer's panel with the Biden folks, and like Mike Donovan's like, yeah, I get a $4 million bonus if Joe Biden wins the election. Like, did that affect why you thought he could run? No. Like, that's impossible. I mean, I guess very rich people wouldn't think the $4 million makes a big difference, but I think that they do.
Yeah.
So there are financial interests to stay in your corners. There are people, financial backers that make a difference. But like in Maine, Jared Golden should have run for Senate.
Yes.
That was my dream scenario.
Yes.
And I think Janet Mills has done a ton. I think Janet Mills is great. Like, she has a record that people like, people enjoy her, whatever. But like, it's hard to comment. No, she's
And her
very
record
popular.
might be fine, but she's not really. Like, compared to other governors, her favorability is pretty low.
Is it?
actually. Yeah.
Oh. Either way,
Just
I think
stress.
she saw Plattner as being the only option, even though I'm being emailed by Jordan Wood constantly. So I don't know,
Another
is he
terrible-
making...
Just like, I need some raging moderates out there. It's like, this could be a moment. This is where I'm with you. It's like the environment is good. So I was talking to Pat Ryan. It's like, Maine should be a win. Ohio should be winnable. Iowa should be
North
winnable.
Carolina, I
They
feel
should
very
all-
good about.
Yeah, they should all be winnable. Those are gettable this time, this midterm, first Trump midterm. But the candidates need to be fighting, and they need to be able to appeal to some people that voted for Trump on some issues.
Yeah,
And it's like, I'm not seeing a ton of that.
I don't know. I certainly see it in Roy Cooper.
Roy Cooper's great.
And-
Roy Cooper's is a
Yeah,
good,
and
good
Sherrod
choice.
Brown is fabulous, I think. I was surprised that he wasn't far ahead in the environment, and how beloved he was. And, like, he couldn't run against a Trump plus 10 swing or whatever
Yeah.
in Ohio, which is, understandable. But I don't think you should be in this level of distress. I think the loss of Jared Golden is a big deal.
I'm always in distress.
No, I mean, it's healthy,
Yeah.
but should also look at it like there hasn't been anything that's happened where I'm like, this is the stupidest thing I've
I
ever
agree.
seen on the
I just
like,
want more. I'm greedy.
Yeah.
I'm pissed. These guys are fucking in charge, and I just want everybody to be like, no, let's get ruthless. Let's get
What I miss?
ruthless, and let's
It feels
press
like a
the back
ruthless
advantage.
moment.
It
I mean, the
does.
shutdown
Just,
feels
And it was good,
ruthless
and it's a win.
right, yes, and
I
maybe
want to
it's
like
the time
take
to back it
that
up.
Enjoying-
and so I just
Like Gavin Newsom
listening to,
is demonic.
ruthless. Boom.
Yeah,
right-wingers
like,
complain
great,
about
And I think
a
Abigail
Muslim
said
mayor,
we're about to see
New York
Ruthless
City.
Spamberger squeeze out. Dark Spamberger's gonna squeeze out 3 or 4 more seats. Which
The,
I like. All that is good. So there's good stuff happening.
the head of
I
the
just-
Anti-Defamation
I'm hungry.
League,
I'm voracious.
of all
I want
places.
More, and I don't want people to feel like, oh no, things
staunch defender
No,
of
I don't think
you know
people
what I
are
mean?
going to
Israeli
take their foot off
apartheid.
the gas. And it is important to dwell on
Yeah,
something like Jared
the
Golden
commie.
saying, like, also the threats to my family.
Yeah,
are
the
acceptable,
ADL,
political
the
violence,
quote-unquote
all of that. But I think when you look
Anti-Defamation
around,
League,
like Ruben Gallego, who I love,
who, keep in mind,
what Newsom did,
like didn't really care
we-
that
we're
Elon
meeting-
Musk like Zig Heiled on stage.
Okay,
more or
great.
less.
Doesn't really
Like,
care
that's
that,
one other thing to say.
Nick
I just-
Fuentes
think
I
that-
want to be
I
positive.
think the
Uh,
Bulwark audience will love that. They need
says,
that.
like,
Jess,
openly
Jesse,
hateful
you get to
things
call you
about
Jesse when you're
Jews.
on the phone.
No,
Right,
but
this girl, Jessie Boy,
Muslim
Jessie
mayor,
Boy,
nope.
Jessie Boy,
Jesse,
Jessie.
we love
They
you.
are-
We love it. Do you ever? Last
They're
thing,
going
when
to,
you're walking
like,
through the airport,
set up,
are
like,
you
a
ever
watchdog
nervous that somebody's
to
gonna yell
to
at you?
monitor his
No.
policies
Everyone is so nice.
in New York City.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Isn't
so
that great?
absurd. Like, dude,
Also,
just
protect the
say you
fives
hate
are, like,
just say you
dysfunctional
hate
family.
Muslims. Like,
So
just
they're
say
like,
it, man.
"Oh, it's like crazy and
I was like
Jesse
a
or
little
whatever."
worried for you that it's like that sucks
No.
for your life that you're
I've
on
had
site
weird
looking
like
around.
safety stuff happen, but not no one to my face.
Oh,
Just,
come
like,
on. It's not a commie. You know that.
in the mail.
I'm glad we got this hang. We're
I
about to
think
do
you're
the
smart
crooked
enough to know
stuff
the
together.
difference.
Everybody, we'll be back here Monday for another edition of the Bulwark Podcast. Go check out Jesse on Raging Moderates, probably. You
I
can
don't
watch
believe
the
that you don't know the
podcast.
difference.
You probably see clips of the fight. I feel like that's how everyone knows me. They're like, I didn't know you could speak for more than 2 minutes.
We'll see you back here on Monday. We're cool. We'll have a way less cool guest on Monday. See you all then. Peace.
Socialist, communist, capitalist, corporatist. Yeah, somewhere in between there. Like somewhere Somewhere in that region. You're on the right track, I think. Just throw a dart at the board. I'm sure you'll get it. Did you listen to the
Good morning, everybody. Happy
Supreme Court
Friday. How's
cases over the
everybody
last
doing?
couple days?
Hey guys.
Hello, hello.
Good. How are you guys?
I think we're about to hear
The opening arguments or whatever.
Yeah, indeed. Well, first of all, Ryan, did you recover from? You had a pretty
Man, why is Civil
intense week
Resistance
going to
I feel good.
Zoran's thing and then
update?
making it
Dang
back
it.
for your son's birthday.
Stupid
and all
Nightbot
that.
didn't
Crazy.
update.
Yeah, it was crazy. I'm tired.
Put in my veins. I'm feeling good. Yeah, it's like
It's just
an
been,
invigorating
dude.
week
It's
is
just
what
been
it
so
is.
long since
There
like
you
Did you
go.
microdose through it?
I felt
I didn't even have to microdose
like
to it.
a
Also, I always remind myself
win,
that it's
you
not
know what I mean?
really work. It's just I really
So I'm just
like,
trying to,
get to do stuff.
I'm just trying to enjoy something.
doing and get to
You know?
be at a,
and like
historic
okay,
events.
yeah,
like,
that same-sex marriage is
People
in
who are
conference right now.
actually doing work and waking up like before
Uh,
the
I think the Supreme Court
is up,
might
out the
actually
door before
save
the sun is up, or like working on like
Well, we call
Trump's
that breaking
face
points.
by
that's true. But
Yeah.
still,
telling
that's like a
him
couple
he's not
hours. They're
allowed to
doing
do the
that,
tariffs.
And it's like 8, 10, 12 hours, and then another
You know
job.
what I mean?
So like that's the
because he's doing
those
such
are-
a terrible
those are
job
people
of
who
it,
work. I don't even.
and
think
there
of
was
it
such a
as
big
work.
rebound.
People who know Kyle know that it's
Hold on.
impossible to like get him out of the house to do basically anything.
Hold on,
but
hold on.
even he,
What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? I'm freaking tired, man. Only got like 2 hours of sleep last night. Where was I going? Yeah, the marriage thing. If that's so freaking like, I can't believe this lady. Well, I shouldn't say this lady because she's just a puppet for the case. But my understanding is that she's been the face of like 4 or 5 of these lawsuits, and they keep getting like put down. So they just keep like trying to argue different aspects of it. Like, I don't understand why they are so desperate to be oppressive towards a specific group. Like, I don't freaking get it. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Like the New York mayor race, right? Like, they want people to believe that he's a commie. So what's the other choice? A millionaire sex pest that whose COVID policies led to the deaths of like up to 10,000 senior citizens. Like, I don't understand how like it's even a comparison. Like, I don't get it. Like, you know, but the thing is, like, I shouldn't be surprised because Trump did win the election, so I understand that, like, I should have understood that, like, a candidate's character is not as important as it once was. But geez, man, like, well, full faith in credit clause already protects recognition, if not grants certification. Yeah, that's what you think. So even if it gets overturned, it'll still be able to be done. Yeah, that's what you think. That's what you think. Do you really think? You really think that if that gets overturned, that these red states are just going to be like, oh man, this wording, I guess we have to keep letting you do it? Like, not a chance. Oh. Let's see. What else was I looking for? Did you... what was I looking for? They don't have to allow it. They have to recognize it from other states, though. So freaking stupid. Like, I don't... I can't comprehend how... Like... It just... Why do other people get to determine what goes on between, like, myself and my doctor? And why do other people get to determine what goes on between 2 adults in their home? You know, like, I don't get it. Just, it's frustrating, man. What was I gonna watch? It's like an hour though, man. I'm probably gonna fall asleep in like 30 minutes. You showed up too late. Well, I started too late, but I'm freaking tired. I was just gonna like upgrade a part for my ship and then call it a night. Technically 10th Amendment thing has been since 1689. Literally only stopped in Century 15. There's no justification for it due to lack of prevent, and 3 of the justices voiced dissent, and they have the majority now present. Wait, marriage is technically 10th Amendment. Who cares? Like, like it's just the principle, man. See, this is like you understand that like this is how the incrementalism keeps going. Like using the law to justify limiting limiting freedoms, right? No, my defense is that using the law to oppress people does not excuse somebody from saying, well, that's the law. You know what I mean? It's absurd. That's what I'm trying to say. I think, you know what, actually, I stand by, that was a bad defense, I completely stand by my principle that I think my defense is better than the it's just the law defense. Any day. I will never break from that. Obviously in court, it's not a better defense. But as a matter of principle, like I'm not gonna violate my own principles. You know what I mean? As an oppression, if you're forced to recognize a religious institution, that is oppression on the state. No religious institution should be mandated. This doesn't. You know for a fact this doesn't have anything to do, like legitimately with a religion. Like you know for a fact that that lady was not oppressed by signing that marriage certificate. Like you know that. Like you know it's all a farce. You know they're just using fancy worded legal language as a means of controlling a group. Like you know that. Oh, you know what? I want to watch something funny. I'll go to the Daily Show. I'm too tired. I've been kind of grumpy all day. Like my mood is short. What's this? Force in one way or the other still oppression. Whether it be a minority or majority is of no concern. No, see, no, you're not. Holy crap. Okay. So here's the thing. Like, I would be willing to concede that her, as an individual, had a right not to sign it if she didn't want to. However, I don't think she had a legitimate reason to file a case on it. Like, just, she shouldn't have been forced to sign it. She shouldn't have been fired for denying it, or refusing to sign it. But someone else in the state, somewhere up the chain, should have signed it. You know what I mean? Like, it should never... This is what angers me the most. It should never have been a court case. But these freaking vultures in their mad grab to take away rights from whatever group that they feel threatened by, jumped on it. Right? That was it. Like you know for a fact that the ulterior motive wasn't because she felt oppressed. Like you know that. Like it's so clearly obvious. Like remember last time I was last week I was like there needs to be a legitimate court argument, like in court, where when somebody says something, they file a case, that you should be able to look at them and be like, do you think we're stupid? You know? Like, this would be a marriage technically considered a freedom rather than a right, covered under the Ninth. So, like, yeah, there has to be a do you think I'm stupid rebuttal. You know?
There are some feuds that transcend normal conflict and become an art form. And the master of this is Donald Trump. He knows the art of altercation like the back of his totally normal hand. Trump's faced many worthy opponents: Hillary Clinton, laws, even his own neck, where he has a prolapsed pelvic floor. But one of his most personal feuds is with his own hometown, New York City.
New York has a problem. This is now a
Like,
city
I'm like
in decline.
I'm like 50% happy that Mamdani won just because of his policies, but like the other 50% is I'm happy just seeing how upset it's making the right wing. Like they're like blatant, you know, racism and bigotry is just like it's like right there on their sleeve, you know.
Back in the day, he thought it was an LA 10.
I have a special interest in New York. New York City is a hot city. It's a great city. It's the greatest city in the world. There's
Just found the state or federal legislatures out of which jurisdiction falls the states will fall in the process of power delegated.
You know, I happen to be the biggest developer in the hottest city, so that's a very cool.
So that's the
That's right. Not that long ago, Trump wanted to bang New York right
that's the
in the
that's the response. It's not a thing because it's not a thing.
There was a time in the 80s when Trump tried to evict his rent
We can't legislate because there's no way to legislate.
Were, I shit you not, splattering ketchup and mustard on the sidewalk. To be fair, it was a travesty. Sidewalks are a sacred space where New Yorkers go to the bathroom.
No, like
And things between Trump and New York almost came to
like
a
the
head
first
in 2011
judge should have
when
looked at that
Trump
and just been like,
committed what
no,
could
do you think I'm
only be
stupid? Get out of
considered
here.
a
Sorry.
New York war crime.
Trump and Palin shared a pizza for dinner, but using forks, not their hands.
Eating pizza with a fork. A fork. No real New Yorker does
Didn't they?
that.
They gave.
Trump, what the fuck is wrong with you? This was the one time you should have been getting handsy.
They spent.
The true turning point was when Trump decided to run for
Fox News
president,
spent like a
and he
whole
was
week
confident that New York
criticizing
City would
Mamdani
back
for
their
eating with his
hometown
hands,
hero.
and they're
Don't forget,
eating pizza with a fork. What?
she's not a New Yorker. I'm a real New Yorker, folks. You will never get more of a New Yorker if you want a president
Oh
than you're getting with.
God! I thought this was gonna be funny. I don't want to listen to his voice.
Technically, this was true. Trump lived in Manhattan. He's always sleep deprived, and he's in dire need of therapy. It doesn't get any more New York than that. So surely New York would back one of their own.
Hillary Clinton received nearly 79% of the vote here. Donald Trump, 18%.
18% in your home city? Only New York's worst enemies poll that low. The Boston Red Sox or King Kong,
investing clause
or any
of
New
legislative
York
power
City
for all the states and
apartment on
powers not
any
delegated.
TV show.
Basic
Monica
civics
Geller,
on.
get the f out of here with your huge open floor plan, okay? You
Well,
shower in the kitchen
that'd
like
be
a real
cool,
New
except
Yorker.
it made
So
it there.
New York rejected Trump at the ballot box, and like any
Maybe the
great
states
leader,
should have
he
legislated.
said, "Nuh-uh, you're not dumping me. I'm dumping
Oh,
you."
but wait a second. They tried to legislate against them, which is a civil rights issue.
He's setting up his
That's right.
permanent residence in Florida, where he owns
So it
multiple
actually did
properties.
become a federal issue because civil rights were being violated.
Good riddance to Mr. Trump.
Oh, poor Trump. Even his fellow perverts turned on him. Trump left New York for the safety of his survivalist bunker/golf resort, but he left behind his dearest loved ones, by which I mean his buildings. And New Yorkers promptly took the revenge, defacing anything left with his name on it.
The Trump Soho in Manhattan is cutting ties with the president's organization and dropping the Trump name altogether.
Residents at 3 New York City luxury apartment buildings are getting rid of their Trump signs and branding. There you have it. His name, his gold name, comes down.
That's right. New York was redacting Trump's name from things before it was cool. And you know how hard it is to take a name off a building in New York? My kid still goes to Woody Allen Elementary. Very awkward
You
cheering
know,
for them at soccer
was it also existence of the state constitution? Oh, civil rights is a federal issue. Not against the 14th Amendment went that far. Also, existence of the state constitutions also refute that. Yeah, well, unfortunately, states run by a supermajority of bigoted zealots has shown that they can't really be trusted to do what's right. Unfortunately, it would be nice. It would be nice if they did, but.
And since his re-election, Donald J. Trump's anger has only gotten more unhinged. He's cut federal funding for the city's infrastructure.
The Reconstruction area did not last long enough, in my opinion. It's like
New York has a new folk
your
hero,
child
polka dot
misbehaves,
During
and you
a night
say,
parade on Canal Street, polka dot dress lady
nice.
calmly stared down armed officers and flipped
Like
them
you've
off.
told them before that if they commit this violation, they're going to be grounded for like 2 weeks, right? And then after 3 days, you're like, yeah, you're good. Just kidding. Like they're not going to learn anything, and they clearly didn't.
Touch the mustard-covered sidewalk. So what will the next
Dang it.
altercation in this feud be? Will New York force Donald Trump to watch a Jets game? Will Trump release Giuliani into the subway system? Will this battle rage on, or will we finally be able to stick a fork in it? Only time will tell. I'm Desi Leidick. Now get out of here. We're fighting.
I moved my minerals or my data the wrong way, and I lost it.
Today,
Oop.
Donald Trump announced a major deal to drastically
I'm
cut the
too
price
tired
of
to do this right
Ozempic
now.
and other weight loss drugs. It's all part of his campaign promise and his one consistent principle of no fatties. He made the announcement at the Oval Office today in an event that turned into a major HIPAA violation.
Secretary Howard Lutnick.
Howard Nutlick.
You take any of this stuff, Howard?
Yeah.
Okay,
What?
good. CMS
Oh my God!
Administrator,
He seriously looks
Mehmet
like he's just
Oz,
like
he
given
doesn't
up on
take it.
life.
Where's Steve?
What the heck is going on with his
Head of
hair?
Public relations for the White House.
It looks.
He's taking it.
Steve, he's on Ozempic. Told his wife he's been doing CrossFit in the garage, but nope, it's Ozempic.
That's a problem you cannot
Steve's
dictate
gotta be
how one
careful, though,
community
because
runs
I
their
heard
society
Ozempic
against the
interacts with
contract they
Cialis,
signed
which Steve is
to
also on.
The states are not children federal.
You know
Ah,
what?
yeah,
Joking
you know
aside,
what?
obesity
You know
is a
what?
serious issue.
Yeah,
So,
I guess.
this could be
You know what?
a benefit.
Fuck 'em.
Dr. Oz, you're a doctor.
Fuck the people that they oppress. You know the
Give us a reasonable
the
expectation of
segregationists, the KKK.
President,
That's
our
cool.
estimate based on the company numbers as
You
well,
you
is
kids
Americans will lose
you kids do what you want
135
because
billion pounds by the
separation of states.
Whoa.
It's all good.
135 billion pounds by the
You guys can go ahead and
Why the
do that to your society.
Did they add a swimsuit competition to that?
Fuck 'em. You know.
Look, I'm no mathematician. but
Besides, like they're not even literate anyway.
divided by 340 million Americans means we each have
False
to
equivalence,
lose
and you know it.
400
No, they
pounds
were
by the
seriously like segregationists, like
And I know that sounds
like the whole civil rights era, man. Like they could not be trusted
But remember, that's just the
to
average.
do,
Some people only
and were
lose
dealt with
300
according to.
pounds.
No, they weren't dealt with accordingly. If they were, there wouldn't be segregation into the 70s, dude. They could not be trusted to do the right thing. They had like 80 years, and they couldn't do it.
Lose, Donald Trump will be tracking it and announcing your personal results.
They had 80 years to like
By the way,
let black people drink from the same water fountains, man. Like what other evidence do? It's not a false equivalence. Like they legitimately did everything they could to keep black people from being productive members of society, just for the sole purpose of using them as scapegoats, using them as like economic punching bags. Dude, fuck him, man.
To this guy. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is zoned out like he's in a marriage counseling session.
Not to follow Constitution, segregation was destroyed in the 60s.
All kidding aside, Mr. President, I appreciate your war on FUPAs. You're the America First.
Yeah, and they're well on their way to granting states the right to do that again.
Killing of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria. We're going to do things to Nigeria that Nigeria is not going to be happy about, and may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns are blazing.
Whoa!
Yeah, they will. Dude,
say so,
come on.
President Yosemite Sam.
You.
You know what? Maybe
They will find a group.
again, but with a bit more
I'm telling you.
I'm hereby instructing our
They,
Department of War
one
to
of these
prepare
red
for
states,
possible action. If we attack,
will
it
find
be
a group.
fast, vicious, and sweet.
And they will start chipping away at their states' rights, while the Supreme Court overrules these like overturns these previous cases. I'm telling you, the only body who can segregate is the federal government, legally speaking.
You know what? It's about time
Yeah,
someone stood up for
frickin'
Christians, Rob.
tell Oklahoma that.
He's doing a lot. That's a big one. Nigeria came out of left field.
Yeah. Even the anchors on Newsmax are like, where the did Nigeria come from? I prepared 20 minutes on Bad Bunny doing the Super Bowl. Now I guess I'll pivot to Nigerian holy war? Shit. You know what? It seems like President Trump has the time to start lowering the price of weight loss drugs and fomenting war with Nigeria because turns out there's not much else going on.
The government shutdown is now the longest in American history.
Yay!
That's right.
Still weird they never thought to add an equal protection clause to the federal government, but then again, the immigration laws are literally based on race.
Day 37 of the shutdown, and there's no end in sight, especially because Trump still refuses to even meet with the Democrats. At this rate, by the time the government opens,
You're talking about
Mike
like
Johnson
the
will
fact
have
that they
gone
can
through puberty.
they can target people specifically based on race,
Those
and
hairs are supposed to be there.
just they can automatically assume that they're illegal because of their race. Is that what you're talking about?
It's fine if the shutdown stretches on forever. It's not like things are falling apart.
New details about the FAA's plan to
Who
make
does it apply
unprecedented
to?
reductions
Oh man,
to
I don't
air
have the shit
traffic
memorized,
beginning
dude.
tomorrow to ensure the
I'm
safety
definitely not
of the
reading
flying
anything
public
tonight, that's for
during the
damn sure.
government shutdown. The list of the 40 airports that will be
I'm
affected,
about
from Hartsfield, Jackson, and Atlanta to
I'm about
LAX and
catchphrases.
Los Angeles, and from Miami to JFK in New York.
40 of the top airports.
See, what sucks is like
Important airports. And don't come at me, Buffalo
what sucks is like
regional airports.
I know for a fact that I have read
2 months ago. Get out of town.
these amendments multiple times, but the thing is I remember it long enough to serve my immediate academic purpose. And then as soon as I move on to the next topic, it's just like it's gone. You know what I mean?
So I would simply have a
And plus, I could easily look it up on Wikipedia. I'm just like lazy. I don't have the brain power for it, dude. You know?
Frontier Airlines wants me to get a
I
backup
do
ticket.
not have the brain power to learn anything right now.
You're the backup ticket.
I am not good company today. Oh my god, it's taking me like 15 minutes just to sell that. I didn't want it to take that long.
Then Frontier Airlines.
Only applies to states pursuing for the private control of government because they thought it unthinkable that didn't apply to federal government. Much historically has no basis in
is that the president is spending his time doting on his pet projects and starting new wars, while the country is scrambling to deal with the immediate crises that he is actively ignoring. If only there was a picture that would offer a perfect metaphor for this.
Okay, where am I going now?
hoping to travel to any major city anytime soon, you're shit out of luck. Although, there is one place that's taking advantage.
The government shutdown is ruining air travel. Flights are canceled in cities around the country.
It's like,
except
man,
for one. Come to Money
just
Gap,
like,
Nebraska. Our airport is unaffected
just try
by
it
the
once.
shutdown because we don't
Try it
even
once.
have
Like,
one. Your plane can just land on the
when
highway. No
when you
one's
see a
using
case
it.
like this
Our little
lady
town has
in the whole
everything
marriage
you were
thing,
planning to do somewhere
like
else.
just
Where you
try,
live to play
just say it.
slots in
Like,
Vegas?
do
Well,
you
we
think
got
we're
a
stupid?
payphone that sometimes gives us
See
a
how it
quarter.
feels.
Try your luck. You don't need
Give it a
Nashville to
whirl.
have a
Give it a
party. We got a
give it a
large storage
dance
shed,
around
a
in the old
boombox,
noggin.
and a copy of Jock Jim's
See what happens.
Traveling for loss in the family? We don't have your grandma's funeral, but we'll have a grandma's funeral. People die here all the time. And you
Oh,
miss the beauty
frickin'
and splendor of the Grand Canyon when you can stare
It's
at
a
our
frickin'
sinkhole.
oh my
Been
gosh.
there since '79. Forget seeing Mickey and Donald at
The
Disney
birthright
World. We've got our
citizenship.
own
That's what it
lovable
is.
Animal friends, specifically feral hogs with a
Ugh.
taste for human flesh.
Man, that hurt
And
my
why
brain.
spend the holidays strolling
Stop
the
making me
streets of
try to remember
Manhattan
things.
when you can come here and do fentanyl?
That's not very nice of you.
Fancy convention center to host your business conference? Come here instead and do fentanyl. You don't need to pay
What?
for expensive glamping here. You can sleep pretty much anywhere, except there. That's the Douglas Ranch, and he shoots to kill. You don't need a New Year's Eve wedding in Miami. We'll marry you here. No Catholics. Here at Muddy Gap, we're not worried about the shutdown because we don't even recognize the authority of the federal government.
Like, yeah, you know what that 14th Amendment was trying to say. Like, I don't care what legalese is used to undercut it, like to poke holes in it. Like, ooh, you said effectuate. I did. I effectuated. I didn't
Good
facilitate.
morning, everybody. Happy Friday. How's everybody doing?
Oh, fuck out of here.
Hey guys.
Hello, hello.
Good. How are you guys?
I think we're about to
Doing
hear
good.
how Ryan's doing actually.
Oh, I definitely
Yeah.
don't want to watch an hour.
2025 elections were a complete victory for Democrats and democracy. From New Jersey to Virginia, from New
I
York
have
City
authentication
to
always ends with
Georgia
the same
and
result
Mississippi,
or justifying
Democrats
anything. So they
swept
can
the
literally make.
country in critical elections.
No. What I'm saying is, like, I'm not talking about the court.
Important ballot measures protecting redistricting and
People should have thought of that
Look,
before
my
abandoning their
job
principles.
is not to celebrate or to sugarcoat.
I can tell you, I sure as shit am not abandoning mine. Not one bit.
In this video, I explain what Donald Trump and Republicans are up to and what they will do next. I list the 8 specific
But no. The reason I was telling you to do that was for you.
And by the end,
like,
I'll explain what we can all do to
not for
stand
the
up
courts.
and fight
Like,
back. But before we get into it, subscribe
separate
to this
from the
channel to
courts.
stay informed about how you can defend democracy. I've been practicing election law for 35 years. And during that time, I have seen some really good nights. 2008.
Why is this so quiet? Damn it.
When Barack Obama stepped out and declared victory. 2006 were amazing midterms. But we've also had bad nights. And, look, in 2016, I was the general counsel to Hillary Clinton's campaign, and I could literally feel the campaign shaking as it came to the realization that we were headed.
14 covers segregation illegal argument is moot, and any previous court decision that says it doesn't apply is foolish and uneducated.
Election night, even though it only involved non-federal elections and a handful of states, it was a very good night. It was a very good night for Democrats, and it was a really important night for democracy.
Yeah, but like, I mean, what is their jurisdiction? Who knows?
Everywhere, all at
within. Is it within the person's jurisdiction? So like within like 2 feet of me? Any person within their jurisdiction. So I think it's talking about the person's jurisdiction, not the state's jurisdiction. You know what I mean? That's the way it's worded, dude.
In Pennsylvania,
Can't.
where 3 Democratic state Supreme Court justices were facing
I don't tell you.
detention elections, all 3
Forbid states from denying any person within their jurisdiction. Yeah, it's the person's jurisdiction.
I could go on.
They can deny them within the state's jurisdiction, but they can't deny them within the person's jurisdiction.
And one of the things out of New York that
Words.
I have not seen
This is why it's stupid to like
Republican candidate got less than 10%. There's barely a Republican
to like be super picky with the words like that.
In Mississippi, Mississippi of all places, Democrats flipped some state house seats that broke their supermajority in the Mississippi state legislature, which is a huge deal if you believe, as I do, that Mississippi is going to be one of the rising battleground states of the South in the very near future.
And we know it doesn't mean anything
All of this is
anyway.
before you get to the big
Disqualifying. That's right. Yeah, this was the
You know, in
disqualifying
California,
individuals who have engaged in
where Gavin
insurrection.
Newsom and Democrats led an effort to
And
redraw
we both know
states'
who was
congressional
found
maps.
in a court of
It
law
won in a walk.
using the legal
Just won
process
in an absolute landslide.
to have
And in
participated,
Maine, where
not participated,
Republicans put voter ID
to have engaged in
that
insurrection
was
based on
defeated
their words
by
and
an
actions.
almost identical margin
What?
as to what happened in California.
Supreme Court's like, nah,
if
he's
I had
good.
done a video a
He's
year
good.
ago and told you
He's good.
that in California, Democrats would be sponsoring an initiative to undo the nonpartisan commission maps and replace it with
Well,
partisan.
previous cases don't matter
And
anymore.
meanwhile,
Like, I don't have any
Republicans
trust
would
in the
be
Supreme
in
Court, dude.
purple Maine,
Not this one.
because Maine is a purple state, sponsoring a voter ID law.
I
You'd
have
say,
absolutely
well,
no issue
ID laws are really popular, and there's
with,
no way
like,
in
I hope the
California
next
they're
Democratic
ever
president comes in and just
they're
expands the courts.
nonpartisan redistricting. Well, you would have been wrong
Like,
on
fuck
both
this
accounts,
nonsense, dude.
because the complete opposite happened. And so this was a really good night
You know
for
that their
democracy,
decisions
but
are
we also
absolutely
learned a
absurd.
ton. Like, for example, don't believe the pundits when they tell you that voter ID
Like,
is
they're,
really popular.
if,
Okay?
see,
The
like,
next time you hear a
okay,
pundit tell you
here,
how
here's,
popular voter ID is, or
here's the
Republicans try
analogy.
to spin you that, point 'em to the
Let's
results
say
in Maine.
you're,
Like I said, Maine is a
there's two
purple
teams,
state.
they're having a
Democrats
soccer
have
match,
11
right?
Republican senators, Susan
Okay.
Collins.
One
two
team
congressional districts,
is
voted
picking
for
up the
Donald
ball
Trump.
with their hands and running
You know,
with
this
it,
is not
right?
a
Throwing the ball
mistake.
into the
Yeah,
goal. They get a
said
point.
no to voter ID.
The refs give them a
And like I
point.
said, California,
They get a
which
point on
you
the
would have
scoreboard.
assumed would be very, very
So the other
defensive
team
of a-
is like,
what would be seen as a
well,
pro-reform
these are the rules,
form of
so we
democracy,
have to try to use our
civil
feet.
democracy initiative. They
That's
voted
only
in favor
fair.
of
That's the
in
rules,
favor of drawing
right?
And
So they
believe
try
me,
to use their
I
feet. They
waited
try to play
a
by the
couple of
rules.
days before I did this video because I
Someone
wanted
on
to
the
let
other
everyone have
team
an opportunity to soak
dives at
this
the ball,
in
picks it up with their
and
hands,
celebrate it.
runs it back,
You know, we beat ourselves
throws
up
it in the net,
over
another goal.
close
This
election
is
defeats we
what
had
is
than what we
happening
had in 2024.
in our
So we deserve
federal
some
government
time to
right
just
now.
bask in the
You
good
got
news
the current
of
team
a
with the
night
ball,
in which
running it down the
Democrats just won
field,
everything, Republicans
holding it
won
in their
nothing,
hands,
and
while the other
democracy,
team
was on the
is like,
ballot, in a number of
we're
places.
only allowed to use our
But I
feet.
think it's also my obligation to you,
That's exactly
the
what's happening.
Democracy Docket audience, and really it's a Democracy Docket community at this point, to
Like,
tell
you
it to you
can't-
straight. And here's the deal: Donald Trump has not given up on the
You
business.
can't
Donald
win
Trump has not broken
if-
with election nihilism.
if
Quite to the
one
contrary.
team is allowed
He's
to
doubling
cheat.
down on election nihilism.
You can't
And most
win
importantly, Donald Trump has not
if you're
stopped
not on equal
to
grounds.
rig
You can't.
the 2026 election. What we have already seen since Tuesday night's results is Donald Trump making clear he wants to do more. And so in this video, what I really want to do is walk you through what I see coming down the road from Donald Trump, what I think Republicans are going to serve up next. And I do it not to create a sense of hopelessness. Quite to the contrary. If you walk away with hopelessness, then you didn't get the message.
Man, just
This is not a hopeless time.
fuck
I'm
this
hopeful.
administration,
I'm
dude.
optimistic about the future of Democrats winning elections in 2026. I am
Fucking
optimistic
just
about the future of building a new, stronger.
God, all they had to do was not like all
after Donald Trump. But all of that starts with
all
us
these
being
voters had to
honest about
do
the challenges we
was
face
just like
and talking about what he's
care
going
that
to
this
do
dude was
to
a
expect it and also
insurrectionist,
take steps to
sexual
overcome it.
abuser,
So that's what we're gonna do. I'm
fraudster.
gonna lay out
Like,
8 things.
I think that's what I can't
expect
get
to be
over.
coming from Donald Trump and
Like,
the Republicans over the course of the
that
next
is what
year.
I
Some of them
like
you
at the
have already
core
started to
of
see
all of these
materialize. They're
issues
gonna
with the
get
courts
worse.
and whatever.
Others
Like no
may
matter
sound fanciful, but I
no
promise
matter
you,
what,
before we get to
yeah,
next
we
November
the Democrats don't, but
2026, you're
they
gonna see
do.
all 8 of these things. So I'm going to go through them in order, not necessarily.
Well,
the
see,
most
the
important, most
refs, the
important, but
Supreme
it's a
Court,
logical order that
they
makes
they
sense
are
to me,
giving
and I
them
hope you
points.
will
That's the
agree.
problem.
I also hope you will agree. to take
They
this
are giving them points.
to support Democracy Docket.
Like,
You know,
nah,
I
it's
started
cool.
Democracy Docket in 2020
Like,
to
they didn't
be
even
a
argue
voice for
about
democracy, to be unapologetic
about
and
whether
unafraid,
he was an
to never
insurrectionist
bow
or not.
down, to never
That was not
back
even
away
at the
from the fight,
core
and to
of the
not
argument
be
that went to the
compromised by
Supreme Court.
corporate overlords or billionaire
You know what I
backers.
mean?
It
If he
survived
wasn't,
because
you
people
figure that
like
would be the
you
core of the argument, you
support
know?
it. And
No,
so if you
the
can,
core of the argument was
become
that
a premium member today
he
by
couldn't be
clicking
kept
on
off the ballot.
the description of this episode. If you can't afford,
They did not deny
become a free subscriber.
that he was an insurrectionist.
All right. So the first thing,
And the court's like, yeah, sounds legit. Sounds legit.
is that Republicans
Sounds legit.
are going to claim that Tuesday's victory was the product of fraud. I know you're saying,
Like, huh?
but how come
You got
we
a point
haven't heard
there.
about it? Well, first of all, they sort of have. I mean, the fact is, Donald Trump, before the election, claimed that the California election would be the result of fraud. He posted on social media. I wrote about it.
Yeah,
in
like I think
Democracy Docket.
what
People
bothers
who
me the
are
most is
already
like
subscribers will have read what I wrote, and
all
it was
these
just
frustrations that I
recounting
have
what
with
already
what's going
before
on in the
election had
courts
taken place, said that there was going to be fraud.
wouldn't even exist
And he used it as another
if
justification to bash
the
mail-in voting
voters
and to try to target
that voted for him,
other forms of voting that he doesn't like.
like,
On election day, there were
took a
number of
moment
reports
to,
that I received of prominent
you know,
Republicans and conservatives
take the
claiming
person's
that there was
character
fraud
into
going on.
consideration.
We heard these reports in Pennsylvania. We heard these reports in New Jersey.
They don't have to if there's no law to
We
enforce
heard
that provision,
some
then it can't be
reports
enforced. It's
of
the same
less
reason militia
confirmed
can't be
in
called by
Virginia.
Congress without statute.
So
There has to be a
the
law passed, very few
right-wing
clauses are
disinformation,
self-executing.
misinformation
Well, I mean,
machine
if
running full throttle
if the
on
executive branch controls
what happened is they lost by a huge margin.
controls
And so
all
when
means of
Donald
law
Trump woke
enforcement,
up on the morning
none of the
following
laws are
election,
self-executing.
he could either say this was the product of fraud
If they don't want them to be.
and have to somehow explain how that fraud led
Oh
his
man,
candidates
this
to
freaking
lose
place.
by like 15
Ugh.
points,
Okay.
17 points, you know. Like,
Okay.
and that
Okay.
was just
Okay.
implausible
I'm done.
even
I'm
for
done
him.
with this. I need to find something
And
else
the
to
problem
watch.
for him is that if he did that, he would have to own
Nope. I think I watched
some
this one.
responsibility in the outcome of the election.
I did.
So he went with option B, which was to just say,
I
yeah,
watched this
these
one?
were the results, and it wasn't my fault, it was other people's. It
Oh, I
was
did.
bad candidates.
Members
Bad
only.
candidates in Virginia.
No.
Bad
Members only.
candidates in
No.
New
That's why I didn't watch
bad
them.
candidates in New Jersey. And then to just sort of ignore the fact that he, in fact, was what was dragging the
Oh, I think I didn't watch this one. Cool.
So
2
that's
months
what he
old though.
went with.
But
So the reason why he didn't claim
anyway,
Give it up for Josh Johnson.
it's time for laughs. Time for laughs. I will no longer burden myself this evening.
This weekend, wow!
I will no longer mentally burden myself
for everybody. I
on the
imagine
whims
This weekend was weird.
of a clearly corrupt Supreme Court.
It was
Like,
weird because
Justice
for,
Thomas,
like,
your yacht is
half
here,
a day.
ready to pick you up.
We did think
It's your son. His name is Harlan Crow. You know he's got a case in the
half a
court next
day.
week. He's here to pick you up in his yacht.
that's so long. Half of a day.
Oh wait, oh.
It's a very long time to think the president. And then, you know, we
Says
found
Congress
out,
funds when it
oh,
happens and
wasn't
defies
the case.
instruction. It must be done by
They
statute.
posted.
Same with
you
the
know,
definition of treason not needing Congress. Oh, I don't care, dude.
News reports
I'm done
came
caring
out.
for today.
You know, like,
I am absolutely done
president's
caring for
been
today.
found
He's an insurrectionist.
golfing in Virginia. It's like, don't say found like that. Found. Like a lost singer.
Shit.
Found.
Shit. Oh, I clicked the wrong
is
menu.
Insane. Just say he was golfing in Virginia. Found in Virginia makes it sound like the White House didn't know.
He's a fucking
I'm pretty
insurrectionist,
sure they drove him.
sexual predator, fraudster.
Found.
Like,
12 hours is too
and,
long.
and people unironically believe that he's people unironically believe that he's a good businessman. Like, legitimately.
My buddy lives with
They
his
will say
grandpa.
that, like, when asked. Like, oh, dude,
And every
you're a
time
good
he thinks
businessman.
his
Like,
grandpa's dead, he finds out in about 5 minutes.
I don't.
His granddad
I mean,
does that
okay,
sleep you only do
like,
when you old.
you wonder why I'm hesitant to vote for the other side. Like,
You know
man,
that
I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Where you like,
Like, if you, like, do you honestly
like, I don't
disagree
Know, I don't know why, but like it
with,
seems like after 70, people just
the foundation
sleep with
of
a
my
little bit too
principles?
much neck.
Like,
You know what I mean?
like, do I do I come across as somebody that's going to go out of their way to cheat the system, out of their way to oppress? Like, is that
That's a very dead.
like? Why would that even be a justification? You have one side that's clearly doing everything they can to be oppressive towards any other group except white men. And your insinuation is...
The neck crank is a surefire
Eh.
way for somebody to put a spoon in front of your nose.
I'm kind of hesitant to side with you because you care that he's an insurrectionist. Like,
He does it
you
a
have
lot,
to know how
apparently,
absurd that
you know?
sounds. Like,
'Cause his granddaddy sleeps pretty deep. There's that whole thing about sleep being the cousin of death, and
but you know,
I think it's his granddaddy's
the Supreme Court found a word
not
that
even a
means
snore,
something that
not even a
we thought it meant something else. So I guess he can just do it.
He said he always thinks his
No.
grandpa gone when he take a nap.
Fuck that, dude.
Because the way he falls asleep, which to be fair to my friend, this is... I've never seen this in anyone else in my entire life.
Did I already search it? Yeah, I
But
did.
he said his granddad will go take a nap. He'll
Ugh.
announce it too.
I don't want to use my brain anymore.
Lay down. And then he goes to lay down, whether it's on the couch or it's in his room. And lays his head back. And he said the way his granddaddy falls asleep is he takes a deep breath. That's a great way to look dead. This man goes to take a nap, lays on the couch and goes.
Like, the freaking Citizens United case is like a perfect example of why principle matters, right? Their
Now,
claim
to
is
be
that
fair to his granddaddy, every time he wakes up, he does
like,
finish the breath.
spending money is a form of free speech.
Said his granddad
So
never wake up peaceful.
why is someone allowed more free speech than someone else, right? Why? Because that's what Citizens United decision did. It said that some people are allowed more free speech than others.
Then, he's never wondered
Because
his
if
granddaddy was gone for
if I have
12
$30, I have 30 free speeches to give to a candidate, but this corporation over here has like 50 million free speeches
12
to give to support a candidate.
Jeez.
You know?
And we
So
thought that because Trump
far be it from me to assume that everybody's free speech rights should be equal, right? You know? But the fact that somebody else can have billions of free speeches compared to my 30.
look like he act like. You know what I mean?
Oh no. No, we disregard for any process or any argument that has a logical basis.
Everything a person
If you like, I was
did
stabbed back, still
next
end
to
up sleeping.
everything that they
Stabbed? No,
ingest
dude, I am
and
absolutely
that's
against
not a
stabbing. Not voting,
personal
dude, doesn't mean
swell.
voting for trying to find comp points, but every time I find a voice, which makes me.
just doesn't look
Dude,
like he's
it's like,
great.
it comes down to the bottom line.
I even know
that
the term. He had some venous thing. Turns out that venous thing was his ankles. His ankles.
segregation was wrong, slavery was wrong, and the states were not going to do it of their own accord. They were going to continue doing it, and
world leaders have had to sit there and not
the.
look.
I don't think that the argument that it wasn't the federal's rights, the federal government didn't have a right to tell them not to do it. It's just, it's not, that will never ever be a reasonable justification for it. You know what I mean?
Just sitting there
That's
looking,
what I'm trying to say.
Caked up. Like, I mean, he got some thickums under those socks. Trump's ankles have quite a bit of booty. I can't imagine what that must be like to be an aide
Like, I'm
at the
just-
White House and walking next to the president,
This-
taking orders from the
What
president of the
freaking
United
makes me
States,
so
but all
angry
you
and
can hear
frustrated is like
is
this
his
this
ankles
country has
clapping.
been so diverse for so long. Like, I legitimately thought we were on the right track, you know what I mean? And then, like, I am just sick and tired of the most bigoted, narcissistic, racist motherfuckers having all the money, which means they have the power to hire the best attorneys, to find these bullshit legal loopholes for the sole purpose of holding people back. You know what I mean?
Donald Trump and
the federal government didn't stop drilling, didn't even recognize the secession. Didn't even say the states were rebelling, but the people in them.
no one's more upset than him.
I'm like, dude, what was the first thing? The first thing
that's bad.
that the southern states did when the federal government stopped its reconstruction efforts. They started implementing voter restrictions.
Don't have something on the schedule.
You know?
People assume.
But hey, it was legal. It's like, see, this is what, like, I can't
It's
like.
funny too because
Again, it goes back to the, like, you think we're stupid?
With friends, I have friends that
Jim Crow laws because of Johnson being a spineless fool.
sort of across.
No, because of
spectrum, you know, I have these
the
friends
southern
who, whether they
states
tell
being
me or
racist
not, I
motherfuckers.
know that they
No one forced them to do it.
voted for Trump.
That's
At least one of them, pretty
so
sure, voted for
blaming
3
Jim
times.
Crow laws on somebody else not stopping them
Every time
is
until
like
he did.
the argument if a woman's sexually assaulted and you ask, well, what
And
was
so
she
we'll go
wearing?
back and forth all
You know
the
what I
time.
mean?
You know, women should be
Like, no, sorry,
all
the
time.
the
We
rapist didn't
argue
have to
about
do
a bunch
that.
of things that aren't Trump as well. Like sometimes we'll just
What's it
argue
called?
about, like,
Victim
whole
blaming. That's
social
what it
issues,
is.
Whole different policies and everything.
Federal government had authority
And
on the
maybe it's
14th to
because
stop
I've
him.
known him longer than Trump
Yeah.
has been president.
Yeah,
that I feel
but
like
he
having those arguments is
he
to
was
me
kind of
worth it,
racist
you know?
too,
I don't
so
ask
he was all
anybody
for it.
else to
Like I said,
do
the southern
everything that
states
I'm
were not
doing, but I
punished
think
enough,
that
in my opinion,
there is
because
something
they
to get
obviously
to the
didn't learn their
bottom of,
lesson.
and it's what we are gonna do.
Because like the first election
he's
after
do you know what I mean? Because
the,
I think that right now
okay,
it's
so
easy to put everything that's happening and how we feel
he should
about
take
each other on one
responsibility.
person.
Well, yeah,
'Cause it's sort
he's
of
got
the
the
catalyst
responsibility, the
all
burden
this
for
stuff,
for
but
pulling back.
the groundwork
But once
was
he
being
did,
laid long before he ever became president. And so
nothing was
whenever he's
forcing those
gone,
southern states to go
you know,
back to their racist
we're
bigotry.
all gonna have to
You know,
figure out
like
a way to
that very first election,
'cause it's not as
after
if
they were given their
all of the
freedom,
problems begin and
there's
end
like
with him.
dozens of
You know,
black
he's just one of 'em.
legislators across the states. You know, those southern states. But then slowly but surely, within the next couple years, the white supermajorities, with
don't
members
know.
of the
No idea.
KKK embedded in them,
We don't know.
started
It could be
passing these
any day now. It could be
restrictions.
200 more years.
But they weren't racist. It was just, you know, just a
Truly,
literacy
my
test,
grandma
or
was in the
just a
nursing
tax.
home,
You just gotta pay a tax. Like,
before she passed,
it doesn't.
and I would
It's
go
it's,
visit her
it's not
and everything.
racist
My
because it
grandfather
applies
as
to
well, at
everybody,
different
right?
times,
Right.
They were in
That's the
nursing
law.
homes, and when I
That's
go
legal.
visit
It's
them,
legal.
see people
Right.
who had
This is why, like,
3,000
I
years
think
old. And it's like,
the way, think about the way you feel when I don't give a shit what the courts say, and I'm like, I don't care, that's wrong. All right, think about how you feel with that, right?
full of love and
That, I
you
think,
try to make
is a good
memories
comparison to
and
how
moments
I
with
feel
family, with strangers.
when
You wanna have
there
a
is a
full
law
life.
that's
You
put in
wanna have a
place
life
that
you
is
look back on
clearly
and you're
intended
proud of the
to be
impact
oppressive,
you had on people,
but
you
it's
know?
legal
And
because of the way it's
along the
worded.
way,
You know what I mean?
try to
And it still
maybe,
happens
I
anyway.
don't
So
know,
like,
eat right
I
when you
don't,
can, but enjoy
I
yourself,
don't trust our legal system
and drink sometimes,
to
not too often.
to
Maybe
do
party a
what it's
little bit
supposed to
when
do
you're younger and it
if it's only a
wean off of
strict,
it as you get older,
unemotional adherence to the law.
do your
You know what I
best
mean?
to have
I hope that makes sense.
a really impactful life, even if you never become whatever it is, like rich, famous, popular. You're someone who, by being in other people's lives, their lives are richer. And same way that trees
Like,
and
I think-
forests have roots that overlap.
Hear me out on this. Hear me out on this. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Lives, you create
Okay.
ripple effects.
I think.
Create positive
I think I have
change in the world. And
a
hopefully, by doing all the right things, you have a good long life.
a policy proposal,
Or
if you will.
You could be the devil.
So,
And
I keep going back to my. I think that. Do you think I'm stupid? Should be a legal rebuttal. I think
life must run off
if
fuel. How do you?
if somebody presents legislation, for example, I keep going back to the literacy test because that's like the easiest one. That's one of the most blatant examples of something that's clearly racist wrapped in pretty words.
You gotta really be a bad person.
And someone was like, okay, you know what? You prove to me that it affects minorities
he would do a similar thing.
and the white majority population equally. Like, you prove to me that it affects it equally, and then it can get passed into law. You know what I mean? I think that should be a requirement. Like, it should have to be proven. What was removed Lochner era? I didn't know that.
Everybody walked by. People would say hello to him.
That was no. What am I thinking of? Oh, I'm thinking of the gerrymandering.
Finally, he was like, you know what? I say hello to this man. I pass him.
No,
and
maybe that's
if
something
we have
else.
Conversation, he doesn't speak to me, and I don't take it personally because you
No,
never
like
know what
that
people
should
are going through.
absolutely be a
some
thing.
people, you might
Yeah,
think
because
they're being
if a
rude,
state
maybe they
wanted
have
to
something going on, maybe
gerrymander,
they have dementia a little
it
bit,
had to
maybe
be
they're trying
approved
to
by
bang their own
the
head about something, trying to
intent of a law was
remember
taken into
something,
account.
doing something.
Yeah, it
So he
absolutely should
said,
be.
I'm gonna make a point the next time I go there to have a
I didn't.
conversation with him.
I
You know
didn't.
what I mean?
If
'Cause
I
that's the one
had
thing he
learned
said
that at
he
one
never
point,
saw
I didn't
anybody
remember it.
do. And so next time he went to visit his grandpa,
And
on
not
the
just
way out,
not
he
spoken
walked
intent.
up to him and was like,
You know
"Hi,
what I mean?
How you doing? The man said, I'm alive.
Dude, I hate people. No,
He's like,
hate's
"Well, I
not the
hope you're
right
having
word.
A good day. He's like, why would it be a good day?
The actions of people
Well,
whose
you know, it's
sole
nice
existence
outside and everything, the sun
is
shining,
driven
you're in a
by a
rocking chair,
need
and it's
to
like,
oppress others angers me beyond belief. You know?
I'm in a rocking chair.
And again, like, I don't care what any law says, that I'm not going to change that principle. Like, that is like an absolute core principle of mine, you know?
It's easy to put everything in the way that we are now and all narratives and all discourse on just one person. It's easy to do that, especially when that
She
person
strike
looks
down
like
child
they're
labor
driving all,
restrictions
right?
as
But the ground was laid for this person.
regulation manufacturing.
long before they came into
Another
any
course
sort of
application was
political
faulty
picture.
system
You know what
regulate
I mean?
manufacturing kits certain product
For a long time,
commerce is within
people
federal
felt
authorities
like
have died with
there was
Lochner.
nobody who was looking out for them. For a long time,
Like-
people felt like it would take somebody who could not be bought
Is
by
the
Washington or
Supreme
Wall Street's
Court,
special
are
interest
they,
money, or couldn't be
do they force themselves to not consider the future implications of their decisions?
or was looking out
Or
for
are they like
people because they
legally not allowed to?
motivated
They have to look at that
money,
in
they
specific
weren't
instance. Like, I want to know.
motivated by the promise of getting rich
This is going to be very.
every weekend.
This answer is going to be
As a country
very
almost,
important to
you
me.
saw this way before Trump ever entered the political pictures, that if someone was at least independently wealthy, maybe they wouldn't
They
be
don't really
swayed
care.
by the
They're
money,
outcome based.
You know what I mean? And there were those people across political
Okay, so
spectrum that felt
my
like
point's
there was
proven.
no one looking out for them, that slowly
They don't care about the
everything that was
implications,
their
which
quality of
means
life and everything that they earned was
law
eroding away
without
piece by
principle,
piece, right? And that they just needed
strict
someone to
adherence
step up
to the
who
law
would stand in the way of all
without
that and wouldn't be swayed by it. And unfortunately, that person never showed up. But like
what's the word I'm looking for?
And so I
A
was
compassionate and empathetic set of principles,
friend,
emotional
and
principles,
there was one point where
is absolutely
we were
worthless
going
to me.
back and forth for a while because I
It's-
felt like for everything that he said,
Marshall
I was
especially, they
saying
don't care about the
something
law.
That was a reason why he shouldn't trust Trump on it, or why I didn't think it was something that was going to happen, you know? And finally he goes,
No.
well, you know,
Oh
he's
no, I
a
do need to sell
businessman.
something. I think
And I had heard this before, and he said
it just
he's-
like makes me
he's a
angry because like
businessman.
I
And was
feel
like,
like growing up,
oh, he's a businessman.
you know, I didn't really pay attention, but like everything was cool, you know.
He is
It
a
legitimately
businessman.
like for a long time up
He's
until
a businessman, though. No, like he is a business.
up until 4.5 years ago, 4 years and 11 months ago.
He is a businessman.
Like,
He's a businessman.
even though it was like
He is a businessman.
2016 to 20
You
was
said
kind of
he's a
annoying.
businessman, and so he's a
You know, it
businessman.
wasn't
You
like
told me he's a
it didn't
businessman.
feel
I've heard
like
this before. He's a businessman.
it felt like a speed bump. You know, like
He's a businessman.
what do you call it?
He is a businessman. He's a
Like a
businessman.
mentally
So even you didn't say
jarring
good
speed bump,
businessman. You said
but it didn't feel inherently destructive. And like now it
you
feels
said,
destructive.
as in he's won. As in yes, he does.
Like we had a good thing
business.
going. Earlier the
businessman.
court, the more
Yeah.
structured the
Yeah.
reasoning. You'll see cracks when it comes to slavery and
Yeah.
race laws for blacks.
He's a
They would
businessman.
protect other races though.
He is a businessman that bankrupted a casino. You know casinos.
How do you feel about the weird enough Asian World's Protected Law
Things you
Court?
don't generally leave money with.
When legislation is
He bankrupted a casino. He's a businessman. He bankrupted a casino.
he bankrupted 2 casinos
A casino though.
because he built 2 of his casinos next to each other and they competed each other out of
He's
business.
a businessman.
Freaking genius. Anyway,
It's a businessman. Bankrupted
what is
a
your
casino.
opinion
Look, I'm not
of
a businessman.
the legislative strategy
own a casino. In
where
fact, whenever I go to a casino,
anytime,
I gamble.
no,
should
I
do
shouldn't say
show.
anytime,
I've done
but
some
when
shows at
a
casinos, and then, you know, I do the
proposition,
show,
a
and then
policy
I go back to my room, I leave,
is
like,
proposed,
I don't know the ins and outs of running
another
a casino.
side
I
just
hardly know what
completely
it's like to
obfuscates the whole
really,
process.
like,
It's like, no, that's not
enjoy
going to work.
yourself at a casino,
And they're like,
walking
okay,
through
well, let's try
playing
this.
games
No,
and
that's not
stuff,
going to work.
you know,
Let's try this. No, that's not going to work. Like,
walked with other people
how are we
that
supposed to
wanted to
improve anything
gamble and
if
stuff
if
like
that
that.
you
I've
don't let
been,
us try
like,
anything? You know what I mean?
awkwardly
Like
standing
what
there, but I don't know what
that
it takes
legislative
to
strategy
run a
where it's
casino,
just
and maybe this casino-
obstruct,
look,
obstruct,
maybe,
obstruct,
I'm
obstruct.
throwing
Like,
this out there as an olive branch.
does that frustrate you, or do you just like feel like part of the process? You know what I mean?
Maybe had those slot machines that
Well, that
they
is
had
what the
those
state's
slot
for.
machines that really
States do it too.
give you credit for how hard you pull them.
Like, I'm not specifying which level. State,
You
federal.
pull that slot machine as hard as you can. and
That's
the slot
not.
machine's like,
That's unimportant. I'm just saying. Pick a level, whatever level you want. The part in the
okay, Daddy.
a legislative decision to completely obstruct just for the sake of obstructing. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know, but he knows because he's a businessman. He's a businessman. Maybe I'm throwing it out
go to the
there
right
that
place?
at this casino they had working for the casino blackjack dealers that were as bad at blackjack as me. Maybe the dealer, you'd be at his table, and he was like,
Oh, it's right there. Stupid. General police power can legislate any issues to removal of that side could be beneficial.
"You said hit."
And here's the thing that like really frustrates me. It's like
You sure?
it frustrates
Okay.
me about me is I
You win again.
am okay with a two-party
I don't
system
know. He probably
if
knows because he's a
the
businessman.
two parties are forced to negotiate and compromise.
Maybe.
Because the core foundation of a compromise is that both sides lose something and both sides gain something. You know what I mean?
Only casino with
And
clocks.
if that were to be the occurrence, I would have no issue with a two-part. But the
Maybe just
all
over the poker
the actions
table
of the
was a
Republican
clock, and people
Party,
are like, 9 already?
starting with the Gingrich speakership,
I've been here for quite a while.
have completely disavowed
I don't know, but I'm
me
sure
of the
he knows
notion
'cause he's a businessman.
that a two-party system will ever work anymore. Not, however, I would
casino.
prefer a system overhaul to
businessman.
destroy the parties once. Yeah, I don't.
And look,
That's another thing. Like,
it's a casino.
like
I
the
can't
political
think
parties
of a
are
better.
they're for-profit organizations. Like they're not even they're not technically
People
government.
come and drop off their money and leave. I can't think.
That bothers me.
I am not a businessman, but I can't think of a better business to make money. You can't even have casinos everywhere. But you know, this is my thing. A part of me does understand how someone could think all we need to do is get a businessman in there to fix everything, because I think that
I care less about the dumb socialist
America
capitalist
runs
arguments
so
for profit or
much
not.
like
Their
a
nature is
business,
destructive.
even in the parts that it should.
Yeah, it's
that obviously we're going to think everything.
And you know what? I'm not
translates to business.
like again.
You know?
I'm not
Like,
against two parties.
I didn't.
If
this
they're
was where
used
I was naive. I'll tell you right now. I thought
as a
that
means of
even if there was no
as a catalyst for
national
negotiating
pride
compromise.
or community, or even if we couldn't find some sort of
But there
camaraderie
needs to be more.
as Americans.
I don't. You're right.
we
I
at
don't think there should
least
be any.
at our
I
very
would.
core
That's like the best
love
solution of all.
money
But I think a two-party no. A
enough.
one-party system is definitely the worst, because at that point you're like
money
pure
more
authoritarian. They can,
than anyone
whether it's
loved him. I
you know,
thought as
whether it's
soon as
on the
somebody messed with the money, we would all
left or
come
right
to our
end of the
senses
spectrum.
and be
If it's a
like,
one-party
"Yo,
government,
yeah,
it's going
not
to
the
swing
money.
wildly one way or the other. But
That's the only thing holding this together.
there definitely
Then
needs to
you
be more
see
than
there
two.
are people whose lives have
And, like,
already been ruined.
I don't know about you, but like I get so
Because of his
extremely
policies,
angry
you could lay all the
hearing
blame at his
Mike
feet,
Johnson
and they're like,
talk.
I'll figure something else out.
Like this douche nozzle pretends to be a Christian,
You'll figure something.
but he is perfectly okay
You'll figure something else
with
out.
cutting
That's
off SNAP
crazy.
benefits
That's
for
a
hungry
crazy
people.
thing to say, especially when like what?
So they don't.
12
They're
months
not
ago,
threatened
you
by
were screaming about eggs,
releasing documents that implicate
and now your business is in shambles.
the president in
And you're like,
you know,
who can say?
whatever it is he did.
That felt insane. But also,
I think
that if you look at America as a business, it would make
didn't the House
sense
already
that
vote on the CR?
You would want
Not
a businessman.
Oh, that was a
in there.
couple
But
months
the
ago,
thing
wasn't
is,
it?
You can't run
No,
the
this is
country the way you run a business.
This was. I don't
You
think
know,
this is a CR,
a company,
but I'm not
if they
sure.
are
Let me
in
see.
dire straits, could lay off half their work staff and then try to keep things going, use that to stay afloat. A company can buy back its own stocks in an effort to enrich itself as a company, make those stocks worth more. A company has a fiduciary responsibility to its shareholders. A company technically does more for its shareholders than the government does for its people. And so I could see how
CR's
people would be
continuing
like, oh, we'd at
resolution.
least like to get that.
That'd
be
what's
nice,
this?
some dividends. Or
Provides
equity.
budget authority for federal agencies, specifically both
Something.
continue.
We'd at least like to feel
I think-
solvent. No. But it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I think what
And I
happened
don't
in
think it should. I think that
earlier this year
a business now is
was
very
the
different
CR,
than
but
a business before. Like there's a
they
a thing
both
that
CRs?
happened, and maybe
How co-
it's
you know what's
only,
weird
like,
is
my
like I
frame of
remember
reference
hearing them
because of age
calling
and
the
everything, but I think that something happened
the-
in 2008 that we haven't recovered from.
the quote
still,
unquote shutdown
which
that
is
we had
like,
earlier.
For the first
I
time
remember they kept
ever,
calling that a CR, but I don't
companies
remember hearing it in this
that
instance. So
truly
now I'm like
screwed up
confused.
beyond measure, like actually beyond measure, like they should have crashed everything.
I think. Oh, okay.
This is
So a
the type
CR
of
is
stuff that you
temporary.
read in
That's
the
what. Okay.
textbook, and then they,
So
you
that's
know,
why we're
hung
in.
everybody.
That's why there's
Like,
this budget
that's-
stuff going on now, is because the previous one was just like a temporary band-aid,
We don't
a
realize
CR,
it,
a
but
continuing
that's the level
resolution.
of, like,
It wasn't
nasty that it
actually
got
like a
in
full
2008. If you had,
budget,
you
that,
know, knocked off
according
a
to what
couple
I'm.
hundred years and put in France, there would have been a guillotine. You know what I mean?
They're holding it hostage.
And
so I don't care if I see this
instead,
renewed.
there was a bailout.
Wait,
but
wait,
instead of a
hold on,
bailout
hold
of
on,
people,
hold on.
It was a bailout of
The
companies
Democrats
because we believe in
are holding it
business
hostage?
So much, we believe that everything
Hold on.
works like a business to the point
Which
where
party
even the
has the
politicians,
majority?
naively, maybe some of them sincerely, were sure that if we keep the business afloat, it'll keep the people afloat, because then people won't lose their jobs, and then people will still be able to get these services.
In terms
and
of
people
numbers?
will still buy these products, right? And what ended up happening is that
So you're saying that there are
many
50
were
Republican
foreclosed
senators
on, so many people lost
and
their jobs
50
anyway.
Democratic
People's,
senators.
401ks and retirements were
No.
destroyed.
No, I'm not
And
talking
then
about
the
voting
people
power.
that they gave the bailout to sort
Not
of,
talking
you know,
about
trickle
numbers.
down
Specifically
the
numbers.
economics. Something got stopped up right at the top.
Why?
And so people
Why
who had
is
wrecked
it that the
economy
Democrats are
beyond
holding it
measure got a
hostage
bonus. They are bonus for
when
wrecking usually when you break something.
when the Republican Party, with a majority,
And ever since then, it feels like
is
business
unable
is
to get
about
all of their
not being left holding the bag.
Republican senators
That's what real business
to
seems to be now. Is that
to approve the bill.
you
Why
do
is
everything
that
you
the
can to
Democrats' fault?
extract as much value as
I don't
possible,
understand.
And then you dip before everything comes crashing down. Whether you dip because you sell the company, or you dip because you decide to shutter it after you
Yeah, like that baffles me. Why?
service and everything.
Why is the
Basically
onus
private
on
equity,
the
right?
Democratic Party when the Republican Party has the majority? Like, because I heard this a lot. When the Democratic Party had the majority and there was a shutdown,
If we're talking
it was the
business, to
Democratic
his
Party's
credit,
fault.
I'm sure that he
So
was not worse
I don't
off for
understand
bankrupting
how
that
it is
casino. I'm sure it was the people
now
that
the
worked at
Democratic
casino.
Party's
I'm
fault
sure he
with the
stiffed some of
Republicans in the
contractors
majority.
who helped build the casino, but I'm sure that he found a way to leverage that debt.
They don't
He
have a
loves
majority
debt.
voting power.
He found a way to leverage
Okay,
that debt
so
into
what
his
you're
next
saying
venture,
is
and then he started selling
the
steaks or whatever. I don't know,
Republicans'
like it was-
refusal to negotiate,
It's been a lot of products.
their refusal to negotiate this one issue, this subsidies issue,
You know what else it is?
that's the
too, is
Democrats'
that
fault? I don't understand.
You can't focus too much on this one person. It makes him
Like,
more important than he
no
really
side has
is.
true
I
majority since
understand
Obama,
that he's
for
president.
sure.
I understand he's one of
But
the
no, like,
richest
I don't-
people in the world. But
I
as
just
far as importance,
the
it's about
Republican
what
Party
lasts,
with the
you know?
majority is
This dude-
wanting
this
to
dude, no wonder
pass
we
this
thought
bill,
He was gone. He went on Fox
and the
News.
Democratic
No
Party
wonder
is
we
like,
thought he was
well,
gone. Trump
we
went
would
on
like to
Fox News.
negotiate
Everybody
this
forgets
issue. Like,
Trump went on Fox News
we
and just
believe that
started
these
randomly. No one asked him,
subsidies should
randomly talked
continue.
about how he was trying to get
I
into
think the
heaven.
people
And
should be
it's like,
subsidized, not the healthcare company industry. It's my own personal opinion, but
one thing my buddy's
why
granddaddy never
I
does
don't
is
understand
talk about
why
the afterlife.
the Republicans' refusal to negotiate is
up,
the Democratic Party's
watches
fault.
his shows,
Like, I can't.
takes his naps, gets up and eats, and repeats. If he was pontificating on
Like, that doesn't
heaven,
make sense.
I think people would just start assuming that every nap really was the last nap. No. It's because, a man's hand. Guys. He's turning black.
Why would you negotiate on a policy that was passed without any votes from your party in the first place? Starting point, never negotiated. Why the fuck
But
would
I
I
don't-
negotiate when
look,
you already
I
went?
truly,
Started
I
it
talk about
without
Trump
negotiating.
because he's in the news, but I don't really care about Trump. I care about
Hold on. Who?
People. What's going on with people?
This
All
is
gonna outlast this
okay.
one person.
I want to see what the
you know?
votes were for this
And
big bullshit bill.
Even in California, you see
Oops,
in
wrong button.
California where there was one case. It seems contained and already treated and everything. But
No, I'm not talking about the ACA.
One
I'm talking about
case
the.
of
So,
plague.
the ACA instituted the subsidies.
You know, plague.
The big bullshit bill that was passed over the summer removed them. Okay. So
You know, plague. Plague.
that's what they're trying to negotiate.
Some
Like,
would ask which plague.
they were able to pass the big bullshit bill. I don't think that any Democrats voted for it this summer. So
You know, plague.
so that big bullshit bill got passed, without
Don't
any
act like you
Democratic
don't know
support.
plague.
I'm pretty
You
sure.
know plague.
I don't think any Democrats voted for it.
It's plague. The
But
reason
because they
Europe's
control
not
both
bigger.
the House and Senate, it went through. Now, was there? Did they? There were actually some Republicans that they had to like.
know
Was it that
plague.
lady from Alaska? I think in order for her to sign
no
off on the
matter
bill,
how
they had to like promise
You may hate
a
Trump,
tax
you
break for
gotta
like
admit,
canoes or
this
something
is
stupid like that. I
some
don't
pretty
remember.
bad
Something
luck.
retarded,
Two
but
for two on presidential terms and plague.
yeah. So why would I negotiate? Subsidies were passed without any
That's
Republican
crazy.
votes. It is only fair.
That was wild. Yeah, first one.
Fair to
flip,
who?
The second one. How did
Like
the
fair to the
plague
people that are
skip
losing their SNAP
Biden's
benefits.
era? Like, that's-
Fair to the people that are having their health care costs tripled. Like,
plague.
what's the option is to just
Because that's the fear. is
just
that,
to
like,
roll
yes,
over and
yes,
just like
they
show
found
your belly.
One case they treated it.
Like,
you know, they've even traced it.
that's
back
the
to,
option?
a particular source because it's really a climate change issue.
Fuck that,
because,
dude.
Basically,
Fuck
the
that.
fleas that carry plague are thriving right now in the warmer climate, and so then they're hopping on more.
They're like,
rats,
why would I
and
negotiate
then
when the subsidies
rats
industries
might
were
come in
passed
contact with
without
people, right?
negotiation?
And so there's always the
How many
fear,
opportunities
the
have they had
possibility that it isn't just
in
that one
previous
case, that it
bills
isn't
or
just
previous
contained
budgets
to,
where they could have used that as a
California.
negotiating leverage
there's
point?
a real fear and a possibility that plague
Like,
could
have they
spread
not had
to
the same
the president's hand? Like I like
levers in the past? No, like, dude, this is sorry, but like,
because what we did
the
and what we
Republican Party
how do I put
passed
this? What we've
this big bullshit bill over the
done
summer
in the US
without
as far
any
as
Democratic
presidents is
votes,
not exactly like we're picking young ones.
which kicks
You know what I
millions
mean?
of people off of Medicaid,
Whatever you do, whatever
which
that thing is,
eliminates
whether
the
it's
subsidies,
law,
which,
is military, or it's
trust me,
business.
I
We seem to
absolutely
want
hate
you
the
to have a
corporate
wealth of
subsidies, the
experience in
healthcare.
that
I hate it.
field
Like,
because
subsidize the people. Give the people the
there's
money,
gonna
let
be
them
three
pay for the freaking
branches of
healthcare.
the
Like,
government,
I don't
and you may not be familiar
freaking
with
it's
all of them, even
God,
if you're
dude, the freaking healthcare
a
industry is
career
such an
politician, you may
unnecessary
not
middle. But
know
anyway,
how to, like, weigh perfectly
the fact
through
is
all of them.
that by removing those subsidies,
You know, if you
the
have a
cost is
lot of
passed on to the
experience in one
consumer.
thing, yeah, that
right?
could win you the
So
trust of the people. And we
the
haven't had a young president in
the
a long
response
time. I mean,
is
like, Kennedy
the
was
Democratic
one of the
Party
young
should just
ones,
roll
like a
over
young
and let
guy
people
being
get
president.
completely fucked over because
And we haven't
that's what's
really
fair?
done that
Dude,
yet. Like,
come
you
on,
know,
man.
What we've done is we've let confidence and swag make up for youth. If you are the president and,
And frickin'
you present yourself in a way
then they
that
try to
makes
play
us
the
feel
religious
good, we will
and the religious
turn that
bullshit
back over
behind
to
it,
you
man.
and the sort of social capital that youth usually carries, right? Because we want you to have experience, but at a certain point we have to be realistic, right? Like,
And it's clear that that's what the
Bill
constituents
Clinton
want.
wasn't young, but he had a
Like, not
saxophone.
just me. That's what the voters want. Like, there are
We had saxophones, so we defended them. We were
the
like, that shows lung
Democrats'
capacity.
approval rating has actually gone up
Have you heard him
since
play, though?
they have insisted on this provision,
then
the
you had
continuation of the
George-
subsidies.
George W. Bush. Look,
You know?
George Bush wasn't young, but he. I don't know. He just had like a childlike wonder to his. You could always tell when he was addressing the nation and he had also just learned a new word. Bush would be up there like, terror. Did I do it good? And then you had Barack Obama, and Barack Obama was younger.
Oh, that's right. I meant
some of
to
the
answer
people
that
who've
question.
been
Why would you
president,
negotiate?
You know, before and
Because
since,
if
he
you
wasn't a
don't,
baby, you know what I mean? Like he wasn't.
if
he
you
wasn't
don't negotiate,
incredibly young, but
then
he had
these
that
people are going to get
exact thing
fucked
I'm
over.
talking about. He had an energy that was like
And
a
the
mobilization behind him,
negotiation
and he had
is
some-
meant to keep the people from
yeah,
getting
yeah,
fucked
yeah.
over. And they
Like
didn't
some
because
measure
there's
of
a moral hold the
charisma that
opposition.
made up for any youth he might have been lacking.
Dude,
know?
I don't give a fuck what's immoral to a political party.
Sang that Al Green.
I care about the immorality
That was
of
incredibly uncomfortable.
kicking the needy off of food assistance. I care about the immorality of
No, 'cause when it happened, I was at
removing
I was
healthcare
at a
subsidies
get together
so
with a bunch of aunties going,
so
"Oh,
that
Barack." I'm
people
like,
that want to pass on millions of dollars to their children when they die don't get it taxed.
No, I'm trying to have my dinner right now. What you doing?
Republicans didn't use such. Dude, they have. They maybe not the subsidies specifically, but they have totally used this tactic repeatedly to force a negotiation. And the reason they're so frustrated now is because they're not used to the Democratic Party actually standing its ground. The Republican Party is so used to, especially since like the Gingrich came onto the scene years ago,
Any interview that went awry, he was
when
ready.
he was quoted as saying like his sole purpose was to keep Democrats from doing anything.
It was his
Right?
favorite thing to fight with the media. and
Something
get
to that
people
effect.
riled up. That feels like
So
youthful energy.
they
That feels like it's gonna be
used
here
every
forever,
single
you know?
opportunity to
And then we
force a
went from Trump
shutdown
to Biden.
because
To be
they knew
fair,
the Democratic
told
Party
us he was gonna
would
be
be
old.
more than likely to capitulate and negotiate to reopen the government.
I've talked about this before. We asked Biden. We were coming at Biden. We asked Biden, and Biden
And
was
like I am saying this with
sure?
a
I got a word
absurd
in my mouth
amount
right
of
now.
disgust with the Democratic Party in general because they have had opportunities to,
I'll do it if you want me to
when
do
they
it,
were in
but
power,
my car does smell like potpourri.
to pass legislation to better the healthcare system, but all they did was just
If y'all want me to
grant.
do it, I'll do it. For real. If y'all like, no,
Like,
no. Like if
get
I'm
this.
the only
Okay.
one that can stop them, if I need to do it, I'll do
Riddle
it.
me
But
this,
just know when
Batman.
I shake world leaders' hands at the
Why-
G7, G20, whatever,
Why do companies like
my hand
Amazon,
will pop a
Tesla,
lot. Whole
Walmart,
handshake.
why
It's gonna sound like
are they allowed to get millions and millions of dollars in subsidies, which are our tax dollars,
But if y'all
and they're
insist,
also allowed to pay their workers like shit,
and
so
then we
that their
got
workers are subsidized
Trump
with
again after Biden, and this
like government
feels
assistance.
Very different. You go back and
Like,
watch a rally of
if you- like,
Trump from 2016, 2017.
if
and then
you want to
watch,
look at the situation
a press
from
conference
an
now,
immoral perspective, that should be where the problem
very
lies.
different. I mean, it's
That's the focus. Not whether
like he's
the
dying,
Democratic
like
Party
it's-
wants some people to have health care, right? It's a symptom, right?
Because look,
The symptom is a terrible healthcare
it's,
system.
it's not lost on me.
Or no,
that to be
sorry,
American, to live
the
in
disease
US,
is a terrible
you
healthcare
have
system.
to become, or at least have an understanding.
The symptom
of
is
what
this
you
frickin'
need to do to be a
this whole subsidies
good
issue.
capitalist, right? And there are
They
people
shouldn't
that
let
ask
the market
question,
shoot off.
how
No, fuck that,
do you
dude.
Fight for a more
Fuck that.
equitable world while you're living in
I'm not
a
gonna
system that is
compromise
corrupt. And I
my
look at it
humanity.
the way I look at when I travel.
Too big to
I meet
fail,
people
doc.
who live
Oh,
in the
you're
country,
okay. You're
but
talking about the
they
companies.
don't
Huh.
speak the language.
I thought you were talking about the workers.
Like your native
I was like, dude, I can't get behind that.
is
Okay,
compassion
took me a
and
second.
Charity. You weren't made specifically to speak the language of margin calls and derivatives, and dividends, and everything. That's a
What if I-
language you can learn to get by because you live here.
Uh,
but it's not.
Okay. Here's why.
not a
Here's why.
language you
Hold
were
on.
born with.
Here's why.
When your parents are raising
Because you
when you're
blamed
fond
the
memories of
Democrats
being a kid, they all
for
come from
wanting to
things
negotiate
much deeper
to help
than
people's
money. And
to
then
help people stay on
as you
healthcare.
get older, you
Right?
clearly need money to get
That's
by.
why.
That's no crime. Like, you know.
That's
we
why I
have to
thought that.
function as a society, so you learn how to move with money as best as possible, but you can get distracted. It can take you to a place that's that makes it hard to remember your humanity.
Like,
you know what I mean? Like some people look at
why
anyone who has succeeded in business.
All right, answer me this
as
question. Answer me this question.
Someone who must have earned it, but that's not how all business works. You know what I mean? Like if I own a house and I set it on fire and I run out of the house, am I a
do you
genius, or
believe,
did I just have an insurance policy?
based on what you said earlier, I'm assuming you haven't changed your mind.
Maybe
Why
both,
is
but maybe I'm a
the
crook.
shutdown the Democratic Party's fault
Like only
when
solvency
the Republican Party
that you have
is
to
the one
contend
that is
with
pulling
is
these
your
nets
soul.
out from under
You know what I mean? The solvency
you know,
is
the people who
defined
need it the
by,
most.
A company's ability to
Like,
pay its
why?
long-term
Why isn't
debts,
it?
right? Is it
You know,
the company's not solvent? You have no.
that's
trust
what I
in
don't
that
understand.
company, and you
I don't
probably
get.
shouldn't invest in that company.
Like they
And
pass these,
as long as
they
we're
pass
keeping it to
these,
financial
this
terms,
this
a soul
big
works in a
bullshit
similar
bill.
way. Depending on your
That's
belief
pulling
system,
this shit away from
depends
people
on
that
if
need
your
it the most.
solvency, your long-term
So
debt
why is that
to
not the
God or
focus of
family
why
or
there's the
community
shutdown?
or a
You know,
cause, but like
not the
you can
minority
tell the
party wanting to
difference
negotiate.
between,
Sorry, it's like
a religion
fuck. I'm
and a
tired. Was
cult
it
by how
11:20?
they
Damn.
measure those solvencies.
I
you
need
know
to
what
eat
mean?
some ice cream
I'm
and
not
go to sleep.
saying that every major religion doesn't have its blemishes. It has people, so it's going to have plenty of mistakes in its history. But you know, a religion that only speaks to what is deeper about you and what is in you and what happens outside of all of this is
Plus, bear with me. I'm like really
worth
tired
looking
today,
into,
man.
worth reading about.
I'm really tired.
And anything that brings it all the way down to the material good is probably a cult. You know what I mean? Just because a
Oh
cult
my God.
usually wants your money.
I should have
They
done this
start
a
off
while
pretty
ago.
good. A cult usually starts off with like a great party or something, and then like, I don't know, in about 3 weeks they're like, hey, how much do you make? You know, dividends work the same way. Dividends get paid out. Companies will pay dividends to their investors, and those dividends go to shareholders. They go to investors, and if you have ever been the beneficiary of someone's kindness or goodwill, then you have dividends to pay throughout your life. You know, and I don't know if that
No,
can
actually,
be understood.
let me
if you only
rephrase.
understand business.
I don't.
Country isn't a business.
I think the
It just isn't.
basically
You know what I mean?
unlimited money in
Like-
in politics is the disease, actually. For lobbyists, the super PACs.
But who knows? He's a businessman. Like maybe he's a.
Ugh. Ah, man.
Trump
I'm
is
just
a
feeling very
businessman the way
uncompromising
JFK
today.
Jr.
It's
was
not
a
like me, I
pilot.
don't think.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh shit, what I miss?
Or at least have an understanding of what you need to do to be
I completely missed this whole thing. Never mind, I'm
good
not.
capitalist. Right?
Damn it.
And there are people that ask the question, how can you fight for a more equitable world while you're living in a system that is corrupt? And I look at it the way I look at when I travel and I meet people who live in a country, but they don't speak the language. Right? Like your native language is compassion and charity. You weren't made specifically to speak the language of margin calls and derivatives, dividends, and everything. That's a language you can learn to get by because you live here, but it's not.
Oh man, that's how I feel. Trump looks how I feel. Man, I'm so tired, like I don't even want to freaking watch anything. Fuck it.
Yeah, indeed. Well, first of all, Ryan, did you recover from? You've had a pretty intense week, going to
I feel
Zoran's
good.
thing and then making it back for your son's birthday and all that.
He's crazy. Ryan's crazy. I'm tired.
Put in my veins. I'm feeling good. Yeah, it's like it's an invigorating week, is what it is.
There you
Did
go.
you microdose through it?
I didn't even have to microdose through it. Also, I always remind myself that it's not really work. It's just I really like get to do stuff I enjoy doing and get to be at like historic events, like people who are actually doing work and waking up like before the sun is up, out the door before the sun is up, or like working on like.
Well, we call that breaking points.
That's true. But still, that's only a couple hours. They're doing that
Has
in
nothing
like
to do with substance
8,
policy,
10,
but the
12
substance
hours,
policy.
and then another
Yeah.
job. So like, those are
Oh.
people who work. I don't even think of it as work.
Got it.
Who
So
know Kyle know that it's impossible to like get him.
maybe it's
out of
just
the
the way
house
our
to do
brains work.
basically anything,
But I feel
even
like
he watching the Zoran victory party videos.
you're more
was like,
process oriented, and I'm substance oriented. You know what I mean?
No way I could have convinced you to go in.
So like the
I saw the funniest
target
post
of
in
my
response
ire
to
is always
Kyle's
going to be on the
victory post
substance.
Where he was playing music and smoking a cigar. Someone quote tweeted it and was like, "Damn, when did Kyle become Dominican?"
Like that is
I know.
that is usually going
was
to
like,
be
"Did you see this
the target of my ire is the substance.
So good.
Process oriented. I'm a programmer.
Anyway,
There you go.
Yeah, should we jump in? Ryan, you've got an update for all of us. Dropsite is being sued, and in the UK, where the libel laws are.
I am
insane.
terrible at
So you wanna give us,
processes.
the tea here of what's going on.
Yeah, and this is also invigorating. In a
I
way,
tried.
because this
My
is,
first
this
major
comes,
was IT,
This comes with the territory of doing
and I made it
investigative journalism.
exactly
And actually,
2
we're not
semesters, and I had to
technically
change my
being sued.
major
The writer, Owen Jones,
because I
who
found
wrote
out
the
I had
piece
to
for
take
us, is
another
being
calculus
sued,
class. I was
and
like,
that's
nope,
because of the
nope.
complications of UK libel
Nope.
law. They can go directly after him, but we are defending the case. The reason we're talking about it now is that some of the documents became public recently, and the Telegraph reported about the case. Otherwise, we were just fighting this behind the scenes. But we've already racked up roughly like $40,000 in legal bills and are barely in the beginning stages of it. It's utterly insane how expensive this stuff is. But we are 100% standing behind the story, and we're planning to defend it in court. So we set up a legal fund that people can support. Overnight, we set it up yesterday. Overnight, people have given so far more than $50,000.
Wow.
I can expect someone who I
in
know
our-
do
so
something
that's
they disagree
more than
with.
our bills so
to
far. Now
continue
the
to do
bills
what
are going
they
to
disagree
continue to
with.
rack up.
Especially,
If
don't
we win a
expect
full
them
victory,
to negotiate on
there
it
is a real
if I
expectation
hold
that
them
we
at
could actually
gunpoint to continue it.
recoup all those costs. And
That's
that
not a gunpoint.
The BBC editor who's suing us would
They're,
have to pay for
the
legal costs,
Republican
and I do
Party is
expect
trying
that
to
that's,
force
likely to happen. But in the meantime, we've got to
United States
you know,
citizens
lawyers
to
keep sending
suffer
invoices.
needlessly
That's amazing.
We have to keep paying
just
them.
to give
So,
the
thank you
wealthy
to everybody who
tax
gave
breaks.
overnight. We can put the link, I guess, in the
Like,
description, or you can find
it's
it on
not.
pinned
I wouldn't
tweet.
even. It's not even
And the more
gunpoint.
we have, then the more
It's like
it sends a signal to plaintiffs in general.
it's
you
like they're
come
they're
after
trying
us,
to
like, we
push
will
someone
defend
off a
ourselves. We
cliff,
have
and the
community
person's like
readers who will
desperately holding on,
help us
trying to
defend
not
ourselves.
fall off the
We
cliff.
have libel insurance,
and
but there's
and the
a
person
significant
pushing them is
deductible that
like,
you have to hit.
dude, let go.
Anybody who's in
You're gonna pull me off the
understands
cliff.
the
Like,
idea of insurance.
yeah.
That's how that works. So, we're nowhere near the deductible yet.
You
And,
know?
Every dollar. you
Trust
spend
me,
on that
it is
takes away from
not. It
journalism.
is
So
not the
any
Democratic
help
Party
is,
that's holding the Republicans at
deeply appreciated,
gunpoint.
and we do expect that we're gonna win this.
This
You
is
don't
an
wanna
important piece too. I remember when this came out, in-depth investigation
God damn it.
into systemic bias at the BBC in their Israel coverage.
Owen
and
Jones.
so, I understand why they
Oh
were
shit!
upset by
I like
it,
this dude.
But yeah, should we jump in? Ryan, you've got an update for all of us.
I wondered who they were talking
Dropsite
about.
is being sued, and in the UK where the libel laws are insane. So you want to give us the tea here of what's going on?
Oh
And
shit!
this is also
No way.
invigorating in a way, because this is
Drop
this
site, you
comes
say?
with the-
That's
this
interesting.
comes with the territory of doing investigative journalism, and actually, we're not technically being sued. The writer Owen Jones, who wrote the piece for us, is being sued, and that's because of the complications
Drop site news.
of UK libel law. They can go directly after him, but we are defending the case. The reason we're talking about it now is that some of the documents became public recently, and the Telegraph reported about the case. Otherwise, we were
Oh
just
my
fighting
god,
this,
he's seriously.
behind the scenes. But we've already racked up roughly like
This dude is
$40,000
being
in legal
sued
bills,
because
are barely
he's
in the
criticizing
beginning
Israel.
stages of it. It's utterly insane how
Like,
expensive
dude,
this
they
stuff
are
is.
like.
But we are 100%
These
standing behind the
frickin'
story, and we're planning to defend it in court. So we
genocide
set up
supporters
a
are like
legal fund that
so
people can support.
desperate to cling on
Overnight, we set it up yesterday.
to
Overnight,
any semblance
people have given
of
so far more than $50,000
political power.
Wow.
So that's more than our bills so far. Now the bills are going to continue to rack up. If we win a
Like,
full
dude,
victory,
like nobody wants to
there
fuck
is a
with
real
Israel anymore.
expectation
Like,
that we
get
could
the fuck
actually
over it.
recoup
Like,
all
we're not a
those
bunch of
costs,
frickin'
and that the BBC
we're not a
editor
bunch
who's
of
suing us
boomers.
would have to pay
Like,
for our legal costs, and I
we're not
do expect
falling for that bullshit
that
anymore.
that's likely to happen. But in the meantime, we've got to
Stupid
we have
propaganda.
to,
We
the
should
lawyers
sue them
keep
for
sending
criticizing
invoices,
America.
and we have
That's
to keep-
amazing.
We have to keep paying them. So thank you to everybody who gave overnight. We can put the
I don't
link,
know.
guess, in the description,
Trump
and you
did
can
say
find
that it
online.
should be illegal
And
to criticize him a
and the
couple
more
days
we
ago.
have, then the more
Like,
it sends a signal to plaintiffs.
and with
in
him, you could
general,
never
like,
tell
you
if it
come
was
after
ironically
us,
or
and we will
unironically.
defend ourselves, and we
But
have a community of readers
knowing
who
he's a
will
raging
help us
narcissist and
defend
can't
ourselves.
handle
We
criticism,
have,
he was probably
liable
serious.
insurance, but there's a significant deductible that you have to hit. As anybody who's in journalism or understands the idea of insurance, like that's how that works. So
Andrew
we're
Jackson
nowhere
thought
near
the
the
same.
deductible yet, and every dollar you have to spend on that, it takes away from the journalism. So any help is deeply appreciated, and we do expect that we're gonna win this.
This
You
is
don't
an
wanna
important piece too. I remember when this came out, in-depth investigation into systemic bias at the BBC in their Israel coverage. And
Oh
so,
man,
I understand
that
why
okay.
they were
That's why
upset
he's
by
being
it,
sued.
but
He's being sued
you were saying they haven't
because
really
he
alleged that
wrote
you
a
got anything
story
wrong, and I know you guys
about
100%
the
stand by the reporting.
Right,
the
they say
bias
that
within the
our kind of
BBC in their reporting.
conclusions are wrong, but they don't allege any errors in fact. Like UK law is very strange. It's like
yes.
Like what do you mean?
Has it always been like that, Ryan? Because essentially they're alleging that you hurt his feelings, right?
It's one
That's
of the
about it.
it's one of the reasons that I am such a strident defender of the First Amendment. Like the First Amendment is actually meaningful.
Andrew Jackson
It
was a big
actually
established
matters.
Democrat, so it
And
makes sense.
The UK doesn't have one, and they deeply suffer for it. Crystal and I were just talking about we don't quite understand how they have
Dude,
this
party doesn't
coexisting of
matter.
this
It's the
rabid
personality.
tabloid culture.
If you're a raging
where
narcissist
they
and you've
just
never
recklessly
been like,
publish all sorts of
if you're not
nonsense,
used to like taking any
yet
kind of
also
criticism,
these
growing
bizarre
up, then you
libel
can't
laws, it's
handle
not
it as an
clear how
adult,
those
and you
two
just
things coexist together. If anybody
Huh?
understands that, maybe like
Oh.
elucidate.
You
that
thought I
in
was going to
comments
defend
for us. 'Cause
Democrats?
It's really weird. It's like because
No, it has
this is a fact check piece. This is piece we took very
a
seriously.
person's snowflake factor
accurate,
has nothing to do with
yet we're still
party.
getting drained of all this money to defend it in court. Where in the U.S. a suit like this would be like, no,
Like, dude, the
you don't have
frickin',
any case here, go.
what is it?
My theory about that is always that it's the way that
All the
people get
frickin'
around
like
the laws is by burying things in crazy sourcing.
the extreme
So you
like
get someone
woke
in the royal
warriors, like even those
associated
people
with the
annoyed
royal
me.
family
Like,
tell you
dude, grow the
something
fuck
crazy
up,
and then
man. Like,
attribute it to
you're
a
wearing
source,
a freaking
and
fake
that's how they
tail
do it.
into
I don't know,
Walmart.
that's
You
my best
should be
theory,
shamed.
but,
Like,
I was gonna say, Ryan, also
you
people
know.
should realize if you don't want to set a precedent in the wrong direction either, because with small indie media booming right now, the process can be the punishment. So if you start filing a bunch of lawsuits and people don't have money to
And
defend
yeah, like
themselves,
I'm an easy
because
target to
lawsuits are
get baited
extremely
right now. Like I said, I only
expensive,
slept like 2
and
hours
CNN
last night. And
yeah,
I've been
obviously
trying to.
they have,
I've been trying to fit. All I got to do is just like
world, best lawyers that are on their staff.
shift
It's different than if you're just
shift this
going
stuff
after
over
the indie publications
and go and
who
upgrade my
can be
freaking
bankrupted just by the process.
a piece of
Right,
equipment,
that's
and then
a
I'm gonna
great
get
point.
some
If
ice cream and go to
powerful
bed.
people or powerful interests
Constitutionalist,
think that
conservative,
they
Republican,
can
not a
shut
populist
down
Trumper.
independent media by just lobbing a bunch of lawsuits at them. They're gonna keep doing that. So if you
Trust
give-
me, if you
give
are
on
a
that, then they're just gonna
constitutionalist,
keep going.
conservative
But if you
Republican,
defend yourself,
you
and it
are
actually ends up
closer to
costing
being a
them,
Democrat than
then
you
they're gonna
are
think
MAGA.
twice the next time they think about going after this outlet or any other independent outlet. Be like, oh wait,
I think I remember telling you that before.
they have a huge
stand by
audience
that.
that is going to support them if we come after them. So we have to then factor that in to our calculation of whether or not we want to launch this suit.
Oh wait, hold on. Who's suing who
All
here?
right, well, we're going to
Did I
keep that link
misunderstand?
in there. Let's keep funding.
Oh my God.
We're nowhere near the deductible yet, and
Okay.
Yeah, should we jump in? Ryan, you've got an update for all of us.
I thought
Dropsite is
BBC was
being
suing him.
sued, and in the UK, where the libel laws are insane. So you want to give us the tea here of what's going on?
yeah, and this is also invigorating in a way.
BBC editor, as former director of UK lawyers for Israel, to sue Owen Jones for alleging. Oh, I think they're defending Owen Jones. Oh, okay, okay, gotcha. He is defending Owen. Okay. I was confused because I was like, these guys are both like, pro-Palestinian, like anti-Netanyahu Israeli government IDF stuff. Like,
because this
okay.
this comes with the
Whew.
comes with the territory of doing investigative journalism. And actually, we're
Ugh.
not technically being sued. The writer Owen Jones,
and
who
I
wrote
still
the
don't
piece
like
for
hearing
us,
it.
is
EU
being sued,
democracy.
and that's because of the complications of UK libel law. They can go
But
directly
hey, you don't.
after him. But
You said you don't even like
defending the
parties,
case.
so it shouldn't
the reason
matter.
we're talking about it now is that some of the documents
Honestly,
became public recently.
it's just a
The
label.
Telegraph,
It's just
reported
purely
about the case,
coincidence
otherwise we were just
that
fighting
those group of letters
behind the scenes. But we've already racked up roughly
are associated with that.
$40,000 in legal bills and are barely in the beginning stages of it. It's utterly insane how expensive this stuff is.
Obama's
But
big
we
Israel
are,
support,
you know,
but
100%
possibly
standing
hates
behind
their president.
the story, and we're planning
So,
to
like,
defend it in court.
the
So
qualm
we
that I
set
have
up
is like,
a legal fund that people can support.
I have no
overnight.
issue
We
with
set it up
any
yesterday,
demographic,
overnight.
any culture.
People have given so far more than $50,000.
Wow.
Any resident
So
of
that's
any
more than our
location,
bills
whatever.
So far, now the bills are going to continue to rack
Any
up.
religion, nothing like that.
If we
Calls
win
them
a
names and
full
whatnot.
victory, there is a real expectation
what I have
that
an
we
issue
can
with
actually recoup all those costs,
is the
and that the
decades
the
of
BBC
propaganda
editors suing
that's
us will have
tied
to pay for our legal costs, and I do expect
the government
that that's
with
likely to happen. But in the meantime, we've
the
gotta,
religion.
we have to.
So
you know, the lawyers keep sending invoices. And we
the
have to
use
pay
of
them.
that's
We have to keep paying
anti-Semitic
them.
was used
So,
as used as a
thank you to
cudgel for
everybody who
cudgel
gave
for
overnight.
years
We
to
put the
keep
link, I
people
guess,
from
in the
criticizing their
description, or you can
government.
find it on
So
my pinned tweet.
I compare
And the more we have, then the more
I compare the Israeli
it sends
government
a signal
to a
plaintiffs in general. When you come after us, like, we
was
will
it like
defend ourselves, and we have a community of readers who will help us defend
or,
ourselves.
like
we have
a spoiled nepo
libel
baby.
Insurance, but there's a significant
That's what they are.
deductible that you have to hit. As people,
I'm surprised they
anybody
aren't.
who's in
They
journalism
are.
or understands the idea of insurance.
They
Like, that's
literally
how
are.
it
Like
works. So,
they're
we're
a
nowhere near the
Jewish
deductible
ethno
yet.
state. That is
And,
a
you know,
theocracy.
every dollar you have to spend on that, it takes away from the journalism. So any
Oh,
help
well,
is,
okay.
deeply
Sorry.
appreciated, and we do
Maybe
expect that
the religious leaders, maybe it's not rabbis that have the power,
Too. I remember when this
but
came out, in-depth investigation
the Israeli
into,
government
systemic
controls
bias at
the
BBC
Jewish
in their
narrative
Israel coverage.
worldwide.
And so, you know,
right?
I understand why they
As
were
like a
upset by it,
spokesman
but
for the Jewish religion, right?
You were saying they haven't
I don't
really
believe that
alleged
they
you got
are.
anything
Don't get me
but
wrong.
I know you guys 100% stand
but
by the reporting.
that is what they try
Right,
to do.
They say that
So
our
for
kind of
all intents and
conclusions are
purposes,
wrong, but they don't allege any
their political
errors in
leaders
fact. Like UK
are
law
their
is very
religious
strange.
leaders.
Like
yes.
Like what do you mean?
Has it always been like that, Ryan? Because essentially they're alleging that you hurt his feelings.
It's freaking
right?
disgusting,
It's
honestly.
It's one of the reasons that I am such a strident defender of the First Amendment. Like the First Amendment
for
is
this,
actually meaningful. It actually matters.
This
and, you know, the UK doesn't have one.
Mamdani that got elected
suffer
mayor.
for it. Crystal and I were
After
just
during the
talking about, we
first
don't
debate,
quite
I think,
understand how they
they
have
asked
this
him if
coexisting of this
you know, a mayor of New
rabid
York, you know,
tabloid
not the mayor of Tel
culture
Aviv,
where they
mayor of New
just
York,
recklessly publish all sorts of nonsense, yet also these bizarre libel
when
laws. It's not clear
they
how
asked
those two things
all the
coexist
people,
together.
it was
If
during the
anybody,
primary.
Understands that, maybe
They
we'll,
asked them
you know,
where,
elucidate
what's
that
the
in the comments
first
for
place
us.
they would
It's
visit
really
after
weird.
being elected
It's like,
mayor.
'cause this is
And
a
everyone
fact
said
check
Israel,
piece.
and it got to
It's a piece we
Zoran
took very
Mamdani,
seriously.
and he was like,
It's accurate.
I'm running for mayor
and
of
we
New
stand
York. I
behind
want
it,
to stay in
and
New
we're
York.
still, getting
And they
drained
like
of all this money
they
to
gave him shit
defend
for
it.
like, you're not gonna go
Where-
visit
where in the
Israel.
US, a suit like this
And then
would be
they
like,
they
no,
would
you
ask
don't
him
have
like,
any case here, go.
Yeah.
was it they asked him
my
if he
favorite about
believes
is
that
always
Israel
it's
has a right to
the
exist, and
way
he's like,
that people get around the
I
laws is
believe
by
that
burying things in
Israel
crazy
has a right
sourcing.
to
So you
exist
get
as a
someone
free
in the royal
state
family,
for
like, associated with
for the
royal family,
people.
tell you something crazy and then attribute
Like
it
as a
to
free state with
source,
equal rights. That's what he
and
said.
that's how
A
they
free
work.
state
I
with
know, that's
equal
my
rights.
best theory, but,
And
I
they
was
gave
gonna
him
say,
shit
Ryan,
for
also
that.
people should
Like they
realize
tried
if
to,
you don't
like,
wanna
dude,
set a
that's
precedent
what's
in the wrong
disgusting.
direction either, because with small
Do you know-
indie media booming right now, the
Do you know
process
there
can
was
be the
a
punishment. So if you start filing a bunch of
there was a
lawsuits
protest
and
recently
people don't
in
have
Israel.
money to defend themselves,
It was a right to
because
rape
lawsuits are
protest.
extremely expensive, and
A bunch of their
CNN
soldiers
and,
got caught.
NBC, they have, you know,
Someone leaked a video
all
of
the
them
resources
raping
in
a
the
bunch
world,
of
plus
like
lawyers
Palestinian
that are on their
prisoners,
staff.
hostages
It's different
basically,
than if you're just going
because
after
they haven't been
blended
tried.
Publications
They're just
who can be bankrupted just by the
they're just grabbed and thrown in
Right,
there.
that-
But
that's a great point. If powerful people or powerful interests
the
think that
the
they
Israeli
can shut
government
down independent media
was
by just lobbing
mad
a bunch of
that the
lawsuits
video
at them,
got leaked.
they're gonna
But
keep doing that. So if you give,
they showed absolutely
then they're just
no
gonna keep going. But if you defend yourself and it actually
no
ends up
anger
costing
towards
them,
the act itself.
Then they're going to think twice.
Remember, there will
next
be no
time they
peace
think
between
about
Muslims
going
and Jews.
after this outlet or any other independent outlet.
See, I don't
Be like,
believe
"Oh, wait,
that. Look at here in the
they
U.S.
have a huge audience that is going to support them if we come after them. So we have to then factor that
We
to our
don't have an
calculation of whether or not
ethno-state
we
here.
wanna launch this suit.
And while there is animosity, we have a very different system. Exactly.
Keep that link in
Yeah.
there. Let's keep funding
Yeah.
Drop Site.
That's the
because
point.
Like Ryan said, Drop Site
Like, there
is the
is
tip of the
animosity,
spear against
not
the
across the board,
BBC censorship
but, you know, little
regime.
pockets here and there.
And against many other things, by the
Right?
way. I think people know at this point
So,
how truly, and I mean, if we didn't have Drop
saying
Site
that
doing this
there will
reporting
never
during
be
the course of
peace
this genocide,
when
there's just so many stories that would never have been
there
brought
is
to
a
light, and I don't
system
even
that
think I have to
proves
say
that there
I think people
can
just
be
know that
peace.
That's obviously the case at this point. So heartening to see
Like,
people backing you up with their dollars. And
That's
showing how much
a
they support
very
the work that you
inaccurate
guys do.
statement.
Yeah, appreciate you all.
Yep, I will be
I don't.
making a sizable
I do not
$20
believe that
donation
any
at the end of the
government
show.
should be operated.
Okay, so we have a big show. We have a lot to get
whether
to. We're trying to fly through a lot of topics. We got
whether
election stuff.
legitimately
We have,
or
more shutdown stuff
facetiously
happening with the airlines,
based
closing
on
flights, and we have
religious
Michael Blake, he's a former DNC
religious
vice chair,
laws.
I believe, and he just announced.
We've only kept it by
And
federalism.
he just
and
announced. We met him
Declaration of
at the Zoran event.
What's it
but
called?
He just announced a primary run against Richie
There's a
Torres.
term
so we'll be speaking to him a little
for
bit
when
later in the show. But
you just
first, we
you
wanna go to
trust
Emily.
everyone
Emily,
to
it was a big,
adhere to the
election,
same principles.
This a few days ago. What day is it? I guess it was this week still. It was revolutionary. You know, an underdog came from behind, challenged the
Like
entire
Christian
system.
Power
I of course
with
am
a
talking about
secular
Abigail
government.
Spanberger in Virginia. Emily,
We,
what do you make
see,
of it? Because you left
I don't
the
know.
livestream early. Any big reactions from you?
I feel
before we
that,
get to
like,
some
in
of the
terms
dope?
of population, we have a Christian minority, and believe me, the evangelicals, they are trying desperately to take power. Treaty Morocco, nah, I don't want to.
And New Jersey, and
I
just
really
before
don't
we went
want
to air,
to.
I was reading Politico
I don't
Playbook
even want to
this
think
morning,
about
and
reading
Mikey
that, man.
Sherrill has a quote in it where she says, "If I'm talking to you about abortion and you can't pay your rent, then we're not having a conversation." I'm paraphrasing her, but that's the gist of what she said to Politico Playbook. And I feel as though even these sort of Spamberger, Mikey Sherrill types
Bruh.
have
Dude, I'm tired, man.
the key to
I am
finally,
too
after 10
tired to even
years,
think about
actually
reading something.
challenging MAGA,
Labels this as such and says the
on
reason
some
for
of
the treaty is
those
because we have secular government.
actual questions that people
Ugh.
go to sleep with and wake up in the middle of the night with, and that's I think a
No
revelation.
religion
Shouldn't have been that hard, I guess, but I think that's where we're at. I think that's how Zoran beat
Should
Andrew Cuomo.
be
And in the
influential
meantime, what we've seen
in the
is
operation
Republican
of a government
reaction
ever.
being, well,
Get
we have a little
recognized
bit of
as a Christian
copulation.
power.
That's what we're calling it, Griffin, a copulation.
Dude, that's
This
only
is
because the
Representative
majority
Lisa
of
Blaine
the
on,
population
CNN
consider themselves to be
explaining
Christians.
what happened
Like,
on
that's
Tuesday to
literally
Jake
it.
Tapper.
The politics of this for a second, because
Like,
President
odds are that a
Trump
person that's
told
in a position of
Republicans early this
authority is
morning,
going to be
according
Christian.
a
Like,
source talking to
statistics.
CNN, that Republicans
You know,
are
it's
being
just
killed
basic
politically,
statistics, roll of a dice.
on the shutdown. And if you look at what happened last night, it is hard to say that there is anything in the election results. And I'm looking at
It's
not
just like,
I get it, New Jersey's a Democratic
when
state, but looking at
when
Republican
governments
counties,
are run,
looking at Republican sheriffs that
whether
lost the
it's by
hard to see
religious
anything
leaders
last night that
or
was an endorsement of what the Republican Party is doing right now.
oh shit,
Yeah,
that's
well,
full.
let me give you the other side of that
Uh,
of that story. Is voter turnout
Whether it's
from
run by
Republicans
religious
was
leaders
not
or the
high.
laws are
Not
based in
high at all.
religious laws,
But I think part of that
it
reason
always
is because
ends up
Republicans are,
terribly
for
for
the
the
most part,
people.
are happy with
Oh,
what's
every single
happening.
freaking
The
time.
borders
Every
closed,
time.
crime is down. Inflation
Like, there's
under
just
Biden used to be
rampant,
9%.
rampant
It's now
oppression
down
and
to
human rights
3%.
abuses.
Interest rates are
Every
down. Mortgages
single
down.
time.
I know. Let me just finish. Let me just give you the other side. I shop at the same grocery store as everybody else does.
What is wrong with this lady?
Is
She
there
being a
more
brat?
work that needs to be done? Absolutely, there is. That's why in the working families tax cut, we did just that. We
So, Emily, the take is that people are too happy that the key to an election defeat is happiness.
Too happy to vote for Winsome Earl Sears, obviously. Yeah, like Because she's saying Republican turnout is low, but that's, I mean, this was part of what J.D. Vance wrote the next morning as well, that low propensity.
So because we didn't have a religious government, they would freely give our people back.
I actually think that's true. I mean,
instead of
anytime you
hold them
have
for ransom like
midterm
they do the other
cycles or
nations.
off-year cycles, then yes, you need to be focused on mobilizing
for us,
your
they
own voters, especially if they tend to be
hold
low
our people for
propensity
ransom,
voters. But
unlike
in a
other
place like
Christian
New
powers.
Jersey, where Donald Trump was
So because we didn't have a
actually
religious
close
government,
to
they would
Kamala
freely give our
Harris,
people
so,
back
like the
instead of
margin was closer
hold them
than
for
people
ransom like they
realized.
do. Okay,
what,
okay, gotcha.
What we're looking at is the Republican Party losing swing voters, and that's, I mean, the margin for Mikey Schull I think ended up being about 13 points, about 15 for Spamberger, double-digit wins.
Okay.
In states where you
Freaking
couldn't.
Jay Jones outperformed
Jay Jones.
Kamala
Oh
Harris.
man.
Yeah, there you go.
Whoops.
And it's
And the,
where you
guy,
just
and the lady who leaked the text, the Republican lady who leaked the text, lost her seat.
So look,
Like,
let's see what do I got.
Like, that's someone
know that either.
was like, that's
Plans.
the most dark
Engineers.
woke moment I've ever heard in my entire life, which is so true. But
at the
yeah, I mean,
what was the relationship between those two that they were sending
Like-
these kind of texts? That's what I want to know.
I wondered that all
Always keep this in
Where are
mind.
the investigative
know.
reporters?
Well, I mean,
Where
I
is
guess
the-
you don't have to.
where
I
are the
can't force you,
tabloids?
but
Speaking of the UK tabloids, where's the Richmond tabloid that's gonna like unearth
any
What's going on?
response
What's going on with these two?
that comes
I'll
from
ask
me
that guy, Ben Tribbett, not Larry
Yeah.
Sabato,
is
if he
going
can-
to
if he can
be
dig into that
based
I bet they all
one.
know.
in
I bet they all have some rumors going around. But
Well, that's probably why
all
she
it
was
is.
like reluctant to release, because you know,
was it a
normally-
non-negotiable
first of all, why are you texting
concept
Republicans?
of
That
equal
stuff?
rights
Why are you
across
texting
the
anyone that
board?
stuff, but
You
especially
know what I mean?
Republicans,
Yeah,
you know?
why would you put that down
Whether
in
it's
writing? That's like your dark
whether it's
thought you put at the
legal,
back
Are
of
they
your
both-
head.
you know,
They both
governmental,
married? What's the situation?
personal.
I don't know. And
Like,
the
it
other
honestly
thing
does
that
not
I
matter.
saw Is I don't this
They even
person he
extended
was
the treaty
talking
for
about
about the
that he
Americans
was
are good
gonna- had
friends
the
who
two
will defend their
bullets for.
ships for as long as they are in
This
our
is
waters.
like a totally unremarkable state legislator. Like, I have no idea what this person did to. Whatever. I mean, when I
So,
first saw the story, I was like, oh,
some of
this
the
probably, like, the text, they're
like
probably blowing it out of
this is what
proportion. And then I read the text.
is
and I was
absolutely
like,
frustrating. It's like
holy hell. Yeah, and I mean,
I
it
was
is,
when I was working
like,
at the internship
on
one
the one
day.
hand, Emily, I think you're right that
I was like telling
Zoran really led
one of
the way with
I think she's like the
message, and Democrats saw how powerful
she was the
that
district
is. Now, they're
office's
not gonna embrace all of the Zoran
communications
policies, but they were
director.
Like, oh, this guy's onto something. He's
And
onto
I was
something
like,
so much that
the
he was able to go
overwhelming
from
majority
0% in the polls to
of
really
Democratic
like,
voters
defeating by
do
a
not
landslide
support
this political
what
side
Israel's
with
doing.
all the dollars behind him. Not to
Like,
mention
they
other,
don't
you know, Brad Landry,
they don't
Scott
support
Stringer,
us
Brian
sending
Newport,
weapons
these
over there.
other, like,
They don't
significant
support the Israeli
progressive
government
figures in
starving
city.
the
This stuff
Palestinians.
is potent.
They don't
I do
support
think that they leaned into that messaging.
you know,
I also think
blowing them up.
that
It's like
really, Democrats
the
were ready to vote for anyone
Palestinian
with AD by their names.
population
It did not matter where your
has
what your
the
messaging
highest
was,
concentrate, the
where
highest
you were ideologically, whether you threatened to murder your political
percentage
opponent
of
and their children,
amputees
didn't
than
matter.
any
They were going to vote for
other
you. And you know, it was certainly
nationality.
Look, the turnout thing is trite
And that's
cliche
because
to
of
say,
us, right?
But there
And
were
then what
also,
really infuriates me
I think it was the New York
is
Times
one of the
did an
first
analysis.
arguments you get is
There
it like,
were
yeah,
also
but
some
but
Trump
what about
voters who
Hamas?
switched
Like,
sides.
Yeah,
Abigail
definitely.
Spanberger, I believe, won
yeah,
like
what about
9%
him?
of the people who self-identified, you know, told pollsters that they were Trump
Like,
voters.
what do you
And
expect
that
people
may
to do?
sound like a small number, but when you're
Like,
talking about,
I'm not
you know,
I'm
midterm
not
when
going to
you're talking
justify
about the next
killing of
election,
civilians,
that
regardless of
level
who does it.
switch
But like,
from
what the
one
fuck did you
party
expect
to
was
the
going to
other
happen when
is
you
actually
oppress
massive.
like
And then
and
obviously you saw
imprison
huge swings
an
in
entire
demographics
country
that
for like
Republicans have
60,
been really
70
proud
years?
of
Like, what the
picking
fuck
up
did you
gains
expect
in,
would
Latinos in
happen?
particular, young
You
men in
thought that they would just
particular.
be like, oh yes,
demographic groups, by
master,
the
you
way,
can keep
that they have
kidnapping us
based
whenever you
their
want,
gerrymandered
throwing us in
maps
prison.
on holding on to some portion of, you know, really
You
putting
know?
into jeopardy their plans to redraw things in a way that are going to be more beneficial to them. And so, I mean, I'm genuinely curious from you, Emily, like, I know what J.D. Vance is saying publicly, like, oh, this is no big deal. These were blue states. I don't believe for
Let me
a
process
second
on
that
certain
he
red
thinks
lines
that.
regarding
You
human
can't
rights, especially
lose
when it
by
comes to
20
fundamental rights, freedom. I think
points in
restrictions
two
can be proper, but
statewide
only if
races in Georgia.
tempered
and
by
think
reason
that
properly
this was, like,
delivered with
one-off,
oversight.
nothing to see here, or lose your supermajority in Mississippi
Yeah, like,
and be
I
like,
am
oh, this was
all
just some blue
for
state stuff,
processes,
nothing, you know, don't worry about it.
but
So,
that is not going to be my
privately,
first.
what are people
I'm not going
saying?
to think about the the
ultimately,
process.
What are people
I'm gonna
thinking
think about like
what
what
happened
is the
here
most
and like how or if they're going to adjust in any sort of way.
what is the most
Well, I think-
justifiable
Vivek
result
Ramaswamy
possible,
Had probably the most,
and then
I think
I will consider the process to
popular
get there.
response,
You know what I mean?
As odd as that may be to say, and it was echoed by Vance in his own post, where eventually Ramaswamy and Vance just converged on the same message. Which
I
is
think
that
we're
you
like a
have
fucking
to
yin yang,
focus
dude.
on affordability and cost of living. Then Donald Trump came out and said the same thing. He's like, they have this new word, affordability.
But not in terms of good or bad.
later in the day. And
It's just
so-
like
Forget about affordability.
Yeah. People,
The
I mean,
the
long lost
the
word.
the
It's like, what did he calls? There's like, what does he say? Like
the
refrigerators
process
that
and
sometimes-
ethics combination, I guess.
Groceries is the other one word he loves. Yeah.
Great.
Very,
He's
it's
like,
a
people
very
forget about
unusual
that word. Yeah. But
Where
so,
is
so
this
I think
motherfucker?
people are, and it's insane again. But I think it's especially been. I know, Chris, you also want to talk about the
This
Heritage
guy?
Foundation stuff, but I think it's
Oh, it is this
especially
guy.
been,
Shit, he's on Sirius.
The contrast between the entire
Oh, for
professional
some
right
reason
in
I
Washington
fucking.
D.C.
Oh.
focusing relentlessly on leaks coming
He's at the
out
research
of a
base.
think
God damn
tank,
it.
while you get
Gonna fly.
creamed in a midterm election cycle where I'm
Gotta
pulling
go to
up the
another
data
goddamn
here, like
planet.
independent swung big in a lot
I
of
just
these
want to
key
upgrade my
races
power plant. That's
towards
all I want.
Democrats,
And then I want ice
that
cream.
was not the case in 2024. So
And then I want sleep.
when you see numbers like that, and
In
you
that
look
order
at what the right has
specifically.
been focused on the last couple of weeks, it puts it in pretty stark relief.
If the ends justifies the means, then the process just becomes.
like it's pretty
No, see, here's the thing.
and these professional
The
people
ends
should not need
do not
reminders
justify the
that normal
means.
human beings have to pay their bills. But it's one of
That's.
those lessons
I
you'd
don't
think
believe that at
the
all.
Republicans might have learned from 10
What I'm
years of Donald
saying
Trump,
is the
right,
ends
runoff, but
determines the
have not.
means, not justifies,
I would
determines.
submit that the problem isn't so
That's
much
what I'm trying
the
to say.
debate over like Nick Fuentes and Israel and whatever. It's the fact that there's a question of whether Nazis are
'Cause,
allowed
like-
in the coalition and the way that extremist policies and ideologies are expressed from the top of the
Like, it
party.
doesn't. That would be
And
so
the way that
hypocritical
is incredibly
for me to
repellent
talk this big
to
game
a lot of normal people.
about like my
I mean, Stephen Miller's
my
on the
strict
other side,
adherence to
quote-unquote
like
Jewish question,
you know
but this is
human
not
rights,
leading all the immigration. They just did
you know,
some,
like moral
really
principles.
taking white refugees
Be like,
thing. You know, the
you know
mass
what?
that's in the street, the,
Even if we
now
have,
the
if we have to
Kavanaugh
kill,
stops where
like,
you can just overtly racially
that's like a
profile. Every day
Thanos,
there's new
the
stories
Thanos
coming out
principle.
about how Greg
You know what I
Vivino
mean?
lied in court, how they're tear gassing
Like that's what Thanos did. You know,
how they're bragging
like in
about
order
how
to
their
save the
marksmanship
galaxy,
ethic
he
is shoot
wiped
an
half of
American
its life
citizen
out,
5 times in
or
the back.
the universe. He
And
wiped out
so
half the life.
What I said is,
Like
you know, I
no,
think people actually
sorry,
will
like
put up with a lot of authoritarianism, but only if they're getting some shit out of it. Not
just
just
fucking
for the
accuse
sake
me of being Thanos,
sadism.
dude.
Like we're not all psycho terrorists like
The
Stephen
fuck?
Miller.
Believe in human rights,
you
but we
know,
should
if it
extinguish
was
many
making
to make
the
sure
train
everyone
run on
has them.
time and people
Yeah,
with
like
friends
that's
would
you're
come
not gonna
down
get that answer
forever,
from
then
me.
I think,
Like
yeah, people would be like, well, it's not great, but what are
the
you gonna
ends do
do?
not justify the
The way
means.
that they do with, let's say, Bekele, right, where they had a massive crime problem, and I don't think I would never support his policies, but they genuinely brought the crime down. People are like, yeah, what are you gonna do?
I would
Here
even
you have an
argue that
administration where their
the
authoritarianism
ends
is making
need
things
to be
more
supported by the means.
injecting more chaos,
The ends need to be
more
supported by the
criminality
means.
into their streets and their communities, and at the same time, they're cozied up to a bunch of
I know someone who
oligarchs,
said that
giving
all the
away
former
giant
Confederate
tax
states
cuts
should
to
have
the
been
rich.
totally.
Your rent is
No,
going
I didn't
up,
say
your
eradicated.
groceries are going up, your energy
I
bills
didn't
are
say
going
eradicated.
up, which by the way is related to giving the store away to the oligarchs who are putting these data centers into your
And
town.
when I
And
said
what
I
are you
didn't feel
doing?
the states were
You're
punished
throwing
enough,
yourself great Gatsby parties and building
I didn't
yourself
mean
an
physically.
elaborate, gilded,
Wait.
multi-hundred
I know
million
someone who
dollar
said that all
ballroom,
of the
which seems to
former
be the thing you
Confederate states
actually
should have
care
been
about
totally
versus
eradicated.
anything else that's going on in the world. So, you know, I think voters are getting the message like, oh, you were lying when
I
you claimed
know
you cared
someone.
about me and my life.
So
You
I
were
said-
lying
okay,
when you said
I
that
assumed
you cared
that's what you
about
meant.
the affordability crisis.
Ugh.
That was just political
Okay.
language meant to sucker
I
you
am not
into
meant for
voting for you.
conversation today.
And so, if you're a Democrat, like
I
all
am
the,
like
you know, the mass thugs in
misreading
the street
so
and all
much
of
shit,
that
dude. I am not
hyper-energizes you.
meant
If you're
for.
an independent, you're appalled at that, and you
Ugh.
are very disappointed and unhappy with the state of the economy, which some 70+% of voters say is poor. And if you're a Republican, you're like pretty depressed because
It's like my brain immediately went to like
you said you were gonna
a.
release the Epstein files. You didn't do that. You said you were, you know.
Like
you
I
said
heard
you were
it.
gonna be looking out for me. I'm not feeling.
I
that
read
great,
it to
and I'm not ready to
myself
vote for
in a
Abigail Spanberger,
snarky
but maybe
voice.
I'm just not gonna have time on that
You know
day
what I
to
mean?
Get out and vote. So to me, it's
If
not
that
a
makes
mystery
sense.
of what went wrong here, but you know, I
Maybe I'm just
feel,
being
and
snarky to
Sauer
myself.
raised this point. I feel a little bit like when Democrats would start to say,
I'm projecting.
like, oh, we got to
I'm projecting.
re-message, we got to talk more about this, we got to talk more about that. It's like, no, you don't need to talk more about affordability.
I'm feeling
You actually
snarky
need
because I'm
to
tired.
deliver for, like, you have a reality
Ugh.
problem, and unless you're
And
going to do a total
reading your
180
words projected
on,
the
you know, pull
snarkiness
the
into
National Guard
myself.
out of the cities, pull the mass thugs out of the streets.
I don't care if it makes
really
sense or
do
not.
some unorthodox things for Republicans.
I
that are
said
gonna
that
change people's
executions for
material conditions,
everyone
like, immediately,
and clarified
you
everyone
are
within
in
those
for
states.
a massive reckoning come 2026, and I think that cake in a lot of things can
Shit,
happen,
even-
but in a lot of ways that cake is pretty much baked.
Even Lincoln
And
didn't
I'll
even
toss
want
it
to
to
keep
Ryan
like
and
the
Griffin
slaves
after
here.
that. I mean, I think
I don't
fact that
know
they
what
don't even
ultimately
talk
changed
about
his
it,
mind.
and they're like looking
but
back and
I'm
realizing
pretty sure
that the
that
president spent the last
even
year
like
roughly focused on foreign policy.
as the Civil
Obviously,
War
they
was
have their
starting, he
one big,
was
beautiful
intent
bill,
on like
but
just shipping him to the
looking back and
Caribbean
saying the
Islands.
last 3 months, like,
I'm
why was
pretty sure.
nobody talking about this? And I think
I
with
could
that
be
Mikey
wrong.
Shaw
I'm like
quote, you can
I'm like
interchange
75%
a lot
sure
of things from abortion. You could put in
that he, even though he was anti-slavery, he was also like
whatever else Trump has talked about.
anti-black people being in the U.S.
White House, like getting rid of the East Room, right? Like, the
Yeah,
more you're
I mean,
talking
all the
Africa,
ads in
which
Virginia,
a
big
good chunk of the slave
proportion
population
Republican
actually
ads in
supported.
Virginia were about
Oh, it was
transgender
Africa?
issues, you know, and yeah, people were like, maybe I don't agree
I
with
thought it
her,
was the
but
Caribbean
you
'cause
know
it was
what?
closer.
I'm struggling down here, and I'm not voting for another Republican right now.
Yeah, and that's I posted about this afterwards.
This
It's
what sucks. Like,
it's
I was thinking
not
about
like
this earlier today when
W peak woke anymore.
when
Youngkin
people say
came
that
in
like
and was able to talk about
they
a lot of
don't
these
vote
things.
because the choice is
the
either
future
bad or
politics
worse.
doesn't look like 2021,
Since
and that should have
to be
been
honest, they didn't
fairly
want to be here in the
obvious.
first place, so it makes
What
sense. Well, I mean, yeah,
you
if you're
wanna
like
talk about those things,
if
if
you're
you
out in the
want to,
field,
first of all, you have to be careful to
you know, for
actually talk
hours
about
and
what matters to
hours,
people, and if you insist on talking about
and
them,
you're
because those
whipped
things do matter to some
for not
people,
being as productive as some white
then
dude on a
you should
horse wants
tie
you to
it back
be.
into
Yeah, I'd
the
probably want to leave
conversation
too.
about, like,
You know,
elites. Bernie does this all the time about elite distractions. But you could go further. These are the same
see,
people
I
sowing
I
discord
don't
in your
think they
school
necessarily wanted to go
that
back to
are
Africa.
also
I wouldn't believe that for a second. I think they just wanted to get the fuck out of the U.S. where they were enslaved. You know what I mean?
Don't believe that. So, but yeah,
I bet if you asked them if they wanted to go to Canada, they would have been like, yeah, yep, yep, send me. You know?
You know, you'd be like, my opponent's obsessed with this thing that I just cannot stop talking about 24/7 and have spent millions and millions of
Why am I-
dollars on, and
I
she's
want
not
Super
saying
Cruise
anything about.
Assist.
You know, in order to make that.
That's why the entire country was created for them, and a church even was created by former slaves to help them get out.
Yeah, and real quick, because I know we got to move because we got Blake coming pretty soon. A couple of things that she said. She said grocery prices are down. That's not true.
Wait,
Grocery
which country?
prices are up. She said energy prices are down. I think gas prices are down about 10 cents a gallon since Trump took over, but electricity prices are absolutely through the roof. And she said mortgage rates are down, which is true. Mortgage rates when Trump came in were close to 7. Now I think today they're at around 6.2. Still, but that's still way above what people want.
Oh, dude, have
and
you
need to be able to unlock that?
have you
housing
happened
market, and
to
the way that he has brought down rates so
or
far
have
is
I should
to
have you
destroy the
heard
economy.
of the
Like,
book
to
called The
produce,
Message
you know,
by
we're seeing,
Ta-Nehisi
like, record
Coates?
amounts of layoffs.
By any chance?
Somebody said
Are you even
more
familiar with that
firings
author?
this last month than since
Journalist, I guess.
2020 to
Nope, okay.
2003.
I highly
We don't have the
recommend
data
it.
on
Like, he
because
is
the
a
government's shut down, but when the new data comes in, it's pretty shocking.
he is a
and
phenomenal writer.
That deterioration of
like
the
that
economy has finally sparked the
that
Fed
book.
to reduce
It's a
interest
pretty
rates,
short
which
book. It's
flows
only like
into,
a couple hundred
mortgage rates.
pages.
So it's like,
pretty
okay,
short.
good job getting
and the typing's big.
you know, mortgage rates down by
like if it were like
you know,
paperback
60
type,
basis points,
it'd probably be like
but at the cost
maybe
of, like, a
120,
deteriorating
130
economy.
pages, if that. But
speaking
that was
of
like the
economy-
first.
Go for it.
That was the first non-fiction book
if we've got
that
that.
I completed in a weekend. You know,
Yeah, and then because
like it was
pulling
that
up, I can
good.
just update
Like he's
people
just a
little bit on the
phenomenal
airlines
writer.
Piece though, because as the shutdown continues on, and Democrats I think feel pretty vindicated in their positioning given the electoral romp that they were able to pull off this week. Meanwhile, you have 42 million people who don't have are not
1,700 songs
receiving
saying
food stamp
1,700
benefits on
authors,
which
Thomas
they
Paine being
rely.
one of them, still
You
can't
have a
believe he was
federal
an
judge who
atheist.
first ordered the Trump administration, hey, you do have emergency funds you have to tap.
I
Trump
glanced, dude. I'm so
administration, as they
tired. I
frequently
glanced
do,
at it
"Oh,
for
yeah,
a second. I thought it said like
getting
Thomas
around to it,"
Kane.
blah blah blah.
I was
Court
like,
came and said,
what is that? The
"No,
actor's
you have
brother
till
or
this
something?
Friday to
Dude,
pay out
I'm
100%
like,
of the benefits that are owed." Now the Trump administration is
like,
appealing that.
half of
so,
my brain
people
is
continue
in,
to go without these food
like,
benefits, and you're starting to see the
a
stories
parallel
of,
Earth
I
or
had
something.
to go dumpster diving in the Walmart parking lot to be able to feed myself and my family. I have to pick. Do I put the $1.50 I have in my bank account towards half a gallon of gas to go to the food bank or to go to the store, or if I have to go to work, like I genuinely don't know what I'm gonna do. So I'm already because it's not like the food stamp benefits are super luxurious to start with. By the end of the month, they're gone, and you're waiting for that next tranche to hit. And so, you know, people really feeling the pain there. And now we already have a lot of chaos in the air because there's been every day you see ground stop here, ground stop there, ground stop wherever, because air traffic controllers are not getting paid. I saw somebody share online like the $0 pay stub that they received.
That's another thing that pisses me off is that federal workers,
now the
like,
government is going to
they are legally required to work without getting paid.
On all airline
Like, that is
flights
absolutely
to deal with
infuriating.
the fact that, you know, you still are shut down and people aren't getting paid, and so people are not showing up to work, and they're taking their leave, etc. Not to mention, like, these are the kind of jobs where you really want people to be like locked in and not having to worry
Wasn't it,
about am I going to be able to like pay my
wasn't it
health
Reagan
insurance
that
premium and
forced
make my
the
rent this month. So
that
you know,
forced
so we had
the
into Thanksgiving
air
there,
traffic
people with
controllers
no, food stamp benefits, and
to
looking
go
at
back
the
to
air
work, and
travel
the, like,
situation, which is already
there was like a
nightmare,
court case and the
and
Supreme
wondering if
Court ruled
their
that the
holiday
president
plans
was
are
allowed to
even
force them to go
remotely
back to work.
possible at this point. I feel like, you know, we're already at the
I thought
place
so.
where these things are becoming incredibly painful.
Because you know,
little bit from airlines.
fuck
Let's
unions.
put this all into context. The U.S. handles about
Fuck people.
45,000 flights a day.
Dude,
A
like,
10%
I
reduction of them
there's
is
got to be a
worse
way to
than the
make
worst
unionizing
cancellation day
more
of the
powerful.
past year. Every day until the shutdown ends. So this is not a small tweak. Aviation's a multi-billion-dollar
Technically, they aren't supposed to be able to do
and when
that.
you slow the system, you slow commerce, air travel, supply chains,
Yeah, I mean, well,
deliveries
technically, they're not
nationwide.
supposed to
The clock is
be
really
able
ticking
to
now.
arrest
Never in
or
modern
detain U.S.
aviation
citizens,
history has the federal
but they're
government
kind of doing that
lost
anyway.
or cut a flight capacity like this, and now it seems that passengers
There's just,
are going to be the one paying.
I'm going to a conference
13th is fucking clear.
on Sunday night. So I don't think they're canceling the transatlantic flights for like economic and geopolitical reasons. But who knows? We'll see. Maybe.
Yeah,
Dude,
we'll
I,
get there for-
you know, I
You're gonna
legitimately
be on
want,
Wednesday, but maybe I'll actually be there.
Maybe
like,
I'll be around.
Yeah.
And it's
I
just the
legitimately
idea
want,
that
like,
everyone is going to see this and
opposition
blame,
parties that
Democrats when Republicans are in
make
power.
an effort
It just,
to follow the law to the best of
I
their ability,
understand
right?
Democrats are the ones with
I
voter
actually
votes.
want
I get
that.
But I think what Trump has realized,
I don't
since
want
the
to feel
elections,
like
if these leaks are to be believed, is that
like
they're the ones that are in power.
I would have to
and
cheat in some way
people are pointing their fingers at them.
to
So,
prevent an authoritarian
when Sean
takeover.
Duffy
Like,
is
I
the
don't
one
like
who
that feeling.
out
Like,
of
we shouldn't be,
and has to go out
shouldn't
and
even
talk about
cross
this.
my mind
They're like,
at
oh,
all.
This is the Trump
I don't even want it
right?
to.
Like that's just the association people make
I want
in
an
their
actual
minds.
Republican Party.
This is the Trump administration who's telling us about these shutdowns, and it all goes back to them.
Yeah.
Well, Trump has been saying, you know, energy costs are down, which we have a clip of right
That's
here.
that's all I got. One.
So he's
Oh my god, I can't believe I only
This is
got
his
one.
pivot to affordability. Let's take a listen.
Talk about the
I
cost
spent like
of
2 hours flying
Thanksgiving
around
and
trying to
cost
collect
of
these stupid
living
things,
through
and I thought I got more than
Thanksgiving and
one.
Enjoying
I only
Thanksgiving
got one.
For
The cost
Joe
of
Biden
enjoying
is 25%
Thanksgiving.
more than it is for me. At a later time, our energy costs are way down.
What
Our
is-
groceries are way down. Everything
God
is way
damn it.
down. And the press doesn't report it.
Oh my
The press
god.
reports
Yep,
whatever
that's
the con people
that's
say.
like
I
the
call
perfect
Democrats
encapsulation of my
con
day
men and
today.
women.
All right, so Crystal, you have been debunked.
Oh yeah, it's
Actually,
honestly
everything
like
is cheap and everything's down.
Well, I did see there was.
I don't really
note,
call them
which are
Republicans
getting
anymore. I
rarer
call
at
them
this
MAGA.
point, but on this clip of the president, apparently the Walmart basket of goods he's talking
Honestly,
about
like,
contains like
I
8
feel
fewer
like the
items than
centrist
it did last
Democrats
year, and they
are the
swapped
new
in, like,
Republican
the Walmart
Party.
brand for the brand names
You know what
or
I mean?
whatever, so we're not comparing.
That's how I
to
feel
apples
personally.
Here.
It's
Not
like,
that any of you needed me
like
to tell you that,
ideologically,
because you all exist and
the
presumably eat
the
food
centrist
and
Democrats,
purchase
like
it at some store somewhere,
the
and so
Hakeem
have some
Jeffries,
awareness
the
of what the
the
prices
Cory
are doing
Bookers, the
right now, which is really the problem.
Kristen
Like, you know, I
Gillibrands,
think we're not getting economic data
like
from the
that
government
who
because
is
of the
Alyssa
shutdown. Even before
Slotkins,
that,
right?
There was a question of whether we're getting data at all or
I
accurate
guarantee
data. I
you,
think
like
there was a
20
sense from
years
the Trump
ago,
administration
they
that if
would
they
have
just
ran
crunched
as
the numbers,
Republicans.
that they'd
You know what I
be
mean?
able to lie to people about what was going on with the economy. That is not going to work because people have their own direct, tangible
Well, even the
experience
non-MAGA
of what's
people
in
are
my bank
Republican.
account. Can I afford the things that I could afford previously?
If
Am I making it to the end
my,
of the month? Do I have sufficient money for rent?
hold on,
Can
hold
I
on.
ever
Exit
dream
outta here.
of owning a home or paying my health insurance premium? You know, so I don't need
My
like a
criteria
government statistician
for
to tell
whether
me how things are going for me economically in my
a
own
member
life.
of the Republican Party
go
has
ahead, Ryan.
crossed the
No, I was just
threshold
saying exactly right. Trump's consolidation
into
of the media is like obviously
into
what's
MAGA
helpful to him, but
is
controlling CBS News is only going to get you
basically
so far. because exactly
the
like,
ease
people live
with
in the world.
which
They
they
go to the grocery store,
capitulate
they see what a
to
bag
the
costs,
whims
they
of
know what
Donald
it used
Trump.
to cost. They see their checking
You know what I
account.
mean?
They see they know what
That's-
they used to
that's
have at the end of
my-
the month and now what they now have at the
my
end of the
threshold.
month.
But
and nothing Barry Weiss tells them is going to change that. So you can only
anyway, I'm gonna head
go
out,
so
man.
far with
Sorry for being a
you know,
bitch tonight.
the control of the media.
Yeah, that's totally
I'm freaking
true.
tired,
so
dude.
I don't know. I mean, Ryan, do you think I saw
My,
before the election there was some sense of Democrats being like, oh, maybe we'll take
I didn't
a
really
deal.
have
Then I saw there
much
was,
of
Bernie
it,
Sanders was trying to
the
rev up all the troops.
the wick
like,
of my emotional
you gotta
fuse
stand strong
wasn't
at this point. I saw an Axios
very
article
long
that was
today.
like Democratic members of the House
No
and
patience, no
activists
patience.
are telling leadership there will be hell to pay from the base.
Oh gosh, now
if
I
you
got
guys
heartburn.
cave at this point. So, where do you think things stand in terms of how Democrats are thinking about this?
I think Republicans are also, and curious for Emily's take on this, very motivated in the
Armor,
Senate
dude.
to get a deal because Trump is putting enormous pressure on them to
I can
get
handle
rid of the
whiny old veteran.
filibuster. They don't
Especially a
want to get rid of the
woke ass
filibuster.
whiny old veteran, huh?
They probably don't even
Who
have the
drink
votes
your
to get
prune
rid of the
juice.
filibuster.
No, dude, all I need is a cup of
And
milk.
so, in order to
Just a cup of milk.
get rid of that pressure, they
Clean
need
me
to
right out.
Get out of this shutdown. They're
Like I
talking
can't even
about
have milk for
Democrats wanna
breakfast.
vote. They're like, just
Because
give
like
us a vote. They're like,
I'll
we're
start
not
getting the bubble
demanding
guts on the way
subsidies.
to
Just
school.
Give us a vote on the subsidies, and we expect that if you put it on the floor, it will pass. And then we open the government back up. So that I feel like Democrats are dug in on that point.
Yep. Grumpy
Which
ass.
means, I mean, so Republicans are never going to do
woke
that
as fuck
because it forces them to look
veteran.
like they're voting against the subsidies. It was actually, I don't know if it was Hakeem Jeffries' idea.
Who
It seems like
bases
a Schumer idea to me, but that's quite a clever trap. But what that will do
bases
is force
policy
Republicans to come
positions
to the table and
completely
give a
on
little bit
moral
of
and ethical
something
principles.
to get out of that
All right, man.
public relations
I
nightmare.
might be
Now,
on
the
tomorrow
substance
evening.
of it is
Depends
obviously a
on how
nightmare
much
for everybody
of
who's
my
about to see a massive
assignment I
spike
get
and is
done.
already
But anyway,
seeing the massive spike. But
I'm
that's
gonna
how
I'm gonna
Dems are
have ice
negotiating
cream
by
and go to
putting
sleep.
Republicans
Catch you
in
later,
a
man.
little bit of a PR